All right, guys, welcome to Plant a Garden TV. How you guys doing? Welcome to Open Discussion. Tonight we're gonna have an open discussion where we're gonna be talking about organic. We actually gonna be talking about organic compost tonight, and the topic is really about should we consider the animal that eat store-bought food, their poop, should we consider it as organic? That's our topic tonight. And it's an open discussion, and I also will be dropping the link in case anyone want to come up and talk about that conversation. Yes, we can have that conversation tonight. So how you guys doing tonight? I hope you guys doing wonderful. Peace and love. All right, guys, this is garden season, and I don't know how it's working for you guys, but it's working pretty good for me, even though we actually meeting some challenge with bugs and them kind of stuff. But guess what? We're not gonna make the bugs stop us from doing what we want to do. You know what I'm saying? We gotta do what we want to do and push forward. You got me? Yes. All right. Give me 1 second, you guys. 1 second. Give me 1 second. Blessing, 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 blessing to each and everyone. Happy gardening to each and everyone. Peace and love. How you guys doing, man? How you guys doing on this awesome, beautiful gardening season? hmm All right. All right. So what's up, guys? What's up? What's up? Gardening season swinging, man. And listen to me. One thing I want to see tonight. I want to see this. This is gardening season, and in garden season, when it comes to garden season, because we understand garden season is only for a period of time, especially depending on where you live in. Some people have all season gardening, and some people have seasonal gardening. But for the seasonal gardeners, what I want to encourage you guys to do is try to learn as much as you can while gardening. Pay attention, learn as much as you can. So the next year, you will be bigger and better, more knowledge, more understanding of the plants them. Because I tell you this, when you look at the sometimes you're doing gardening, and when you look at the challenges you facing in gardening, sometimes you could just say, you know what, let me just leave these things and just stop. It's a lot of challenging because sometimes you're dealing with bugs, you're dealing with a lot of bugs, different type of bugs, and sometimes the bugs them is not just there having a good time. Yes, they're having a good time, but their good time is putting you in a place where you could be stressed out. So sometimes we got to figure out how to eliminate the bugs them, how to get rid of the bugs, how to keep the bugs them out of your garden. Some people use sprays, some people do it manual, some people go in the garden and take them out, which takes a lot of time. Some people use different product to spray them. Some people do companion garden, which companion garden helps a lot. It really do. because certain plants, the bugs them really don't like the plants them, and by the plants them in that area, what happen is it help keep them away. Sometimes the scent of the plant help keep them away. So you now have to make sure you pay attention and observe what is really going on. But yes, I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna talk about this tonight. Do you think store-bought food, like food you feed your animals with, like for instance, you have cow in a pen. You might have cow in a pen, and you buy and feed, and you feed the cow, right? You buy and feed, and you feed the cow. The feed that you buying, should we consider the poop of the cow as organic? Listen to me. Someone asked me this question, and this is why I'm doing this topic tonight, really, because I'm looking for opinion as well. Because it depends. It depends on the food that you're buying and feeding your animals with. It depends. And the crazy thing about it is, you could be feeding your cow on grass fed, but sometimes the things them you spraying to keep the weeds down out of from trying for eliminate the weeds that the grass can grow. You spraying them with something, and you still consider it as grass fed and it's organic. But the thing is, what you spraying with eliminate what we call organic. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, should we consider, guys, give me 1 second, please. Hey boy, Blue, how you doing? What's going on, man? Thank you for being here. Yes. Yes, so the reason why I'm doing this topic, someone come up to me because I talk about organic pretty well. And was is a guy I meet in Home Depot, another guy, and I was telling him, he said, "Well, I say I'm going to my garden now," and and then we was talking. So he was asking me, do do I consider the food that the cows, the sheep, and the goats and these things feed from, is it organic? Hey, Fifi Johnny, how you doing? Thank you for being here. What's going on? Yes, so I had was to answer, and I'm saying it depends. It depends on, and this is a question. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I appreciate you here. Appreciate you here. Yes, it depends because some food is made. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Hey, Jim, Mama Gross, how you doing? Thank you for being here. What's going on? Yes. So it depends. It still depends on what you feed in the plants with, because the animal with. Because yes, there's organic food. I People make organic food. So we do get organic compost from animal, but it depends. So I don't want to shut it out and say no. All the food it ain't actually organic, because that's not true. Some feed is organic, but grass fed. when we look at grass fed, let me see. That's all right. That's good, Mama. If the food you buy in organic, then the poop should be that this is basically exactly what I'm saying. Some of the food is organic, but not all. And this is the thing. Some of the food is naturally organic, but not all of them. Like for instance, like I know I was saying, even though you might be grass fed in the cow, right? You might be grass fed in the cow, but there's something you spray to keep the weeds out that the grass can grow, that the cow can get the grass to, the grass can grow nice for the cow to eat. But just because of that spray, you spraying, it's causing a situation there. So I just want to make it clear because and someone asked me this question. Yes, there's actually animal that actually feed with organic food. So yes, if the animal feeding with organic food, the compost is organic. The poop should be organic. If it's not feeding with organic food, if you're feeding with the makeup stuff, because there's a lot of makeup stuff going out there, if they're feeding with that, then I can say it's not. But I cannot say that there's no one out there that make organic food. I do believe there's people who making organic feed for their animal. I have something to say, but it's too. Could you come up? You want to come up, Fifi? I drop the link. Because yes, I will love some opinion. That yes. All right, you could. The link is in the chat. You could come up. Yes. So this is good topic. This is good topic. The reason. Let me see. Okay, just put. Yes, in the link. You could come up. This is interesting topic. The reason why, because sometimes people really believe that because you're getting grass fed mean is organic, and because you might be buying the feed is not organic. That's not true. Because there's people who actually make organic product, naturally use natural product and make organic product. So if you buy an organic feed for your animal, your cow, your goat, yes. If you buy an organic food, yes, I will consider their poop as organic. So I just wanted to make that because this question been asked. Because when I tell people about organic, and I mean, I don't use these things. You understand? I don't use them, but that doesn't mean I'm going to talk bad about them because I don't use them. I remember using cow manure growing up, but there was, hey, Fifi, how you doing? Thank you for being here.
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm doing okay.
Good. Thanks for having me up. Hey, G Mama. Hey,
No
Boy
problem.
Blue. Hello to everyone that's watching from the bushes. Thank you
All
for
right.
having me, Planta. So I feel inclined.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Inclined to come up and speak on this topic because, as you guys know, I raise my own chickens and my turkeys,
Right.
and I do buy store bought feed. I mean, I cannot provide 100% of my feed that I give to my animals. So obviously I have to, look towards a different source or have different sources where I can purchase my food and where I can keep my animals alive and well
I
and
agree.
fed for that.
I agree.
Um, I buy organic feed and I have a couple different sources where I buy them, where I purchase my feed. Um, Organic. Speaking about organic, it says organic on it. I trust that it's organic, and that's just what I go towards because that's how I want to eat. I want I want them to have organic feed. I want to be consuming organic feed. So I can't prove 100% that it's organic feed, but I have some hope that it is exactly what it says it is. I mean, we have seen in the past, you know, things are out there and they're saying this is what it is and it really isn't, right? But my only hope for my chickens and for my turkeys, because I'm going to be eating the eggs from the chickens, I raise meat birds and I raise turkeys for meat also. My only hope is that it's really organic feed, and I do supplement with things that I grow in my garden. I feed them seeds from my sunflower and stuff like that, so I supplement it, not a whole lot, but I mostly depend on the store-bought feed, which is also organic, which is labeled organic. So then I would consider um, the droppings, the poop from the chickens and the turkeys that I'm composting. I would consider that, me personally, I would consider that organic, because that's what I understand I'm buying and feeding them with.
I agree with that. And I do believe people make organic food. There's a lot of people use corn and grain and grind them and make the food. So I do believe people make organic food. I do believe that.
I mean, growing up in the islands where I grew up, that's what we fed our whether we provided it for them or not, like farmers and even people, growing their own food for their chicken. That's just what we did. It might be different back there now, I don't know, but we got coconut, we gave them coconut, we gave them mostly corn and stuff like that, and that's what they ate, organic grains. It was all organic. So I don't see why, it would be so difficult to do it organically.
Right. I listen me. When I look at, I don't use it, so I really can't talk too much about it. But
Yeah.
I was presented with the question. You know what I'm saying? And my answer was, if the food, if you're feeding them with organic, and they was talking about goat and cow. It wasn't even chicken.
Okay.
There was more goat and cow and sheep. But I said, if they're feeding them with organic food, it's organic food. That means it's organic. You understand?
Right.
What I mentioned, if I go to the zoo, if you go to the zoo, I will think, I will think twice. I will say, hell no, that's not, because they've given these animal tablets to make them healthy. They do them. So it could never be organic. But I feel if they're feeding them with organic food, the poop should be organic. And I do believe there's people who making organic food for
For the
cow,
animals.
for the
Yes.
animals. I do believe
Yes.
that.
I would hope that that's the case. Talking about droppings from a zoo, I don't know anything about it. I can't speak on it, and unless I know what's going on there, then I wouldn't be doing that. Because you just never know. You don't know, and these animals are animals that are out there. The public is going there visiting them. Like, you never know what's going on, what they have to give them as preventative measures for them to be safe and healthy.
Right,
Because everybody's going back and forth carrying germs, and they may have to take some precautions, which is giving them medicine. Even if they come down sick, they may have to give them antibiotics and stuff like that. I get my chickens directly from the hatchery. One time this year, I got it from a local store. I was able to order it through the local store, but those were also not vaccinated, because I don't get my birds vaccinated for Merrick's
hmm,
or coccidosis. I don't get it vaccinated at all. So, as long as I can find a source where I feel it's the way that I want it to be, the safest way without medicine and stuff like that, then I feel okay with it. Whatever their practice is, I don't know, but I can only hope. and just stay vigilant to their practices and what they're doing, and hope that that's what they say it is.
Right, right, right. Because you just don't know. But
Right.
but I do listen me. There's all different type of people, right? And there's people who want to who just want to do thing right, and there's people who want to just do it just to make make a few bucks. So once you find some way, and I mean, sometimes you could look into the ingredients too, and you have
Right.
an idea of
Right.
what this thing is actually making with, even though sometimes they mightn't tell you everything, but at least you still have. And if I believe, right, this is my opinion. If you're buying feed and then you also feeding them with grass, you check what I'm saying. Say you're
Right.
buying organic feed and then you feeding them with grass that you did not spray. I think that's pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And with the grass that you did not spray, you're saying, I mean, it's grass, and you're talking about the store bought.
Yeah, like if you buy store
Okay.
bought feed for the
Okay.
cows,
Because
and then the grass now you feed, they eating grass that did not spray. That should really
right.
cover that. Yeah, cover that little area
Right.
if they add
Right.
anything.
I agree.
Okay. Give me a second. Hi, Sissy, Texas Garden. Hi, live from scratch. Hi, Bammit with Arthur. How you doing? Thank you guys for being here. All right. Yes. Okay, 50, go ahead. Okay. Yes. So my thing is, okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, I had to have a sip of water.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was just saying about the greens. Well, I give my chickens and my turkeys greens from my garden also, and obviously I don't spray them with anything. But if I have to get it from the store or from a supplier, wherever, a local feed store, I would like to know. I ask questions. That's the thing with me.
Go ahead.
And I feel like it's important to have more than one source. And I have learned that on my journey doing what I'm doing and living the lifestyle that I'm living. You have to go out there and research, do your own research, ask questions. You don't have to go there and just like digging to make them to offend anyone. But you just want to find out, chit chat, let them know you, and they would give you information. Just be respectful with what you do, how you go about doing it, and they will give you information. So that's one of the things that I've been doing along my journey. Just going out there, even in different states, in neighboring states to my state, we would drive north, we would drive south, and we will go find out stuff. We would find stuff because we want to make sure we have a source of what we need and a safe source for what we need. I mean, I'm not doing this on a large scale by any means. All I'm doing is chickens and turkeys. That's it. But I still want to make sure, that I do my research to see where I can source the things that I need, and what I need for my chicken. I can always have that because I can't provide everything that they need as far as feed. I can't right now. I can supplement during the garden season, but that's about it. I can't supply, and I don't have two chickens. I have a few chickens. So,
Well,
I have to depend on a source or different sources to obtain that feed. And I just want to make sure that it's safe. So, I mean, it's a good topic to have that you're bringing up tonight. And I really appreciate that topic because it makes me think more that it's not just me. Other people are thinking they want to eat organic, they
yeah,
want to do the best thing for themselves and for their family. You know what I mean? Spread that information out there because it's out there. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Because
it's a
people
really good topic.
Because people asking someone asked me this. Someone asked me this earlier up in the week. Someone asked, because
Oh,
I'm telling them about organic. So I say, well, I only grow organic, and I only grow from leaf and these kind of stuff.
okay.
So this is where the question come from. So if I use cow, because they're trying to get into gardening as well for the
Okay.
fall. So they was asking me, so if I use cow manure and goat and sheep manure, is that organic? So all I gotta say, if they feed in with organic feed, I consider it as organic. If they're not,
Right.
then I can't consider it as organic. So yes, it is a good topic.
Right.
Yes,
Because some people may not even think that when they're buying the feed, if it's not organic, there's a possibility that it's being sprayed with other things that they don't want to consume or want the animals to consume, because they may not be thinking that far. I mean, so it's good to have this conversation.
that is true. Because I was watching a guy video. I was watching a video, right? And the guy state that he was spraying his yard, right? He real cow, and he used something to spray to keep down the weeds. No, no, no. He get the compost for free from a place that spray the weeds that the grass can grow, and he used it and he spread it off the compost in his yard, spread it off, and he just start growing. He feels so happy.
And didn't realize that it was sprayed with chemicals that he probably didn't want to use.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happened is his tomato them grow to a certain way. All his plant go to a certain way and just dry out. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
So whatever they spraying this grass with to keep out the weed is not really a healthy, is as far as I'm seeing from
It's
this.
for weeds. It's for weeds. It's not for the food.
Exactly. Exactly. So it getting rid of the weed, but then the grass will grow nice. But at the same time, when the cow eat this, remember the grass gets sprayed as well. So when the cow eat it and bring it back out, we try to use it for compost. But then the chemical that's inside of it mess up your soil that you have there and your garden.
And see, these things does not. It stays in the soil for years, and some people don't realize that it
Yeah.
damages the soil, and it stays in the soil for years. So
This is why you
some
got to be careful of what you introduce in your garden. It's best you just try and just do what you're doing. Not because you see someone get a truckload of load up over there with plenty compost, meaning you got to get some. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what's in there.
and I can see that person being so excited for getting a free truckload of compost, thinking that wow, this is I'm gonna grow in this thing and it's gonna be good, it's healthy, it's the best thing. And they're not thinking, okay, what's inside of this thing? What's in it?
Yeah.
How was it taken care of? And stuff like that. So I mean, it's a lot that goes into it when you're doing stuff like this. When you're gardening, you want to be healthy, make healthier choices. It's a lot of thought that goes into it. And
Yep.
if you don't know, you just don't know.
This is why when he asked me that question, I say, my goodness, you know what I mean? Even though I don't use stuff, but I'm saying, you know what? Many people, plenty people out there might be asking the same question. You know what I'm saying? Because I know about cow manure, I know about goat manure, I know about sheep manure. I know them. I know
Right.
they works pretty well.
Oh, yes.
You know, they works amazing.
Right.
You know, I know about chicken too. It's amazing manure.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But the way we used to grow them, we used to grow them a certain way, feeding them with corn and them kind of stuff. And the cow used to be eating not spray grass, fresh.
Natural grass. Yes.
Yes, so that
Yes.
used to work pretty well. But today we don't know because we don't know what they spraying grass with. We just don't know. So at the end of the day, you got to look into what you buying and what look into it. If you're paying money for it, look into it. That's all I can say.
Even if I'm getting it for free, I'm
Right.
looking into it.
Definitely.
Especially if I'm conscious of what I'm introducing to my garden and to my animals and stuff like that, it's a lot of brain work. I'm telling you, this journey and this lifestyle is a lot of brain work, but it becomes second nature because, like I said, it's a lifestyle. So it's not a burden to go the extra step to find out, okay, what is this and what's in it, and do your own research. It's not a burden. It's best that I know what I'm getting into, especially if it's something new, especially if it's a new brand, especially if it's a new store that has been opened, whatever it is. It's especially important for me to do the legwork, to know what I'm working with, to know what my options are.
Definitely, definitely. Especially you doing this for you. This is for you and your family. So the time you should put time and effort into it at the end of the day. Because you're looking for the most healthiest way. Because you know what I'm saying? Because everybody wanna be healthy, everybody wanna be running around, but our food have a lot to do with that.
Right. I agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree with that.
Hello, Food Forest. How you doing? Hello, Sissy, Texas. How you guys doing? Thank you guys for being here. Yes. So my conclusion on this is if you feeding them with organic food, yes, the food is that's my conclusion with it. Yes, it's organic. If you're feeding it with stuff that not organic, then you could consider it as I don't know what name to call it. So if you sprayed your grass, if you have animal and you spraying your grass with to kill the weed, you understand this thing is not. This is why I always preach, man. The spraying, this spraying is really not. It's not easy. And what you're spraying, you gotta be careful with what the spray that you're using. I really don't want to call no name, but you guys know these sprays.
I mean,
Before
I don't, anything I spray, it's natural. And all I use is like a planter. You introduced us to that vinegar and water solution for bugs. That's the only thing I spray in my garden.
I don't think you should spray anything else.
That's the only spray I spray. Vinegar and water to deter the bugs. But as far as fertilizers and stuff, all I use is what comes from the garden. I give it back to the garden, and then my droppings for my chickens and my turkeys. That's about it.
Yes, I
All natural stuff.
let me see. Microbes make toxic in human and animal waste. Worms and methods break down the waste and the solarized ground can be consumed by human. Wait, okay, let me hear what you're trying to say there. So we're saying what are you fully saying? Are you saying it the micro make toxic insult in human and animal, right? It make toxin insult in human and animal waste. Worms and nematodes break down the waste and solarized ground can be consumed by human. I'm, I mean that's I'm not sure because I see people.
I would say from what I understand, as far as toxins in the soil and stuff, it does not go away completely. And that's all I'm gonna really say on that. I don't believe that you should put all these chemicals and overwhelm nature and the microbes and the earthworms and all those things that are in there to keep the soil healthy. It's like they're overworked trying to make this soil right, try to get rid of and to break down the things that shouldn't be in the soil. But as far as me understanding that it goes away altogether completely, I that's not my belief. They help, yes, But to say that they're 100% gone, absolutely not. And that's far as my understanding, as far as the research that I've done and the reading that I've done.
No, to me, those chemicals stick around. They actually stick around, and they also help eliminate some of your bacteria that's needed in your soil. I'm not saying you mightn't get rid of it, but it's gonna take a while before that could happen. And I just don't want to deal with these things because I don't want to have to, go in. This is why I garden the way I garden, because I don't trust I don't trust these things. So I garden a certain way for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And the reason is because I can grow the same food, the same size, and even bigger, just like what people using to boost up their plant. So I don't. This is why I stay away. But I don't believe the chemical get out of that soil that easy. I think it takes some time. Eddie, everyday life
Right.
stuff. I know. See this chick. How you doing?
I I just want to talk on something that I've been noticing over the years, and I hope this is not off topic, but it has to do with what we're talking about. And I'm talking about construction and the new buildings and areas that I see people dumping all sorts of waste. I've seen it with my eyes multiple times. And they dump all this stuff in an area. And over a few years, they dump and dump and dump, and you don't know what's there, right? And then, boom, a developer comes, start building houses, start selling, people start making garden and all that stuff. And guess what? Whatever is in the soil and all these chemicals and all these harmful things that have been sitting there for all these years that they're now growing their food in is literally making them sick, and they don't know what's making them sick. I've seen it over the years, right? And it's all these cluster sicknesses and diseases. And it's because they're in that same area where all that dump is under, how many feet beneath, and it's affecting them. So that does not go away. I've seen people suffer too many times and for too long from all these toxins and chemicals in the soil, even in the air, because these dumps, they have a pipe from the ground and it vents up because what's under there, whatever they're dumping under there, it has to breathe, it has to burp. And I've been watching that for a long time. I'm like, my goodness, the air, even the air we breathe in, it's just so sad. And when I see children, when I see babies, and I see young people being so sick with all these different rare sicknesses, and it's because of the same toxins that they've been dumping, and nobody's saying anything about it, but it's happening. It's happening. So, I mean, living the lifestyle I'm living and seeing that that's happening, I can't imagine myself and my family being a part of that. I don't want that for my family. I don't want to see us sick. You know what I mean? So I tend to stay away and be very cautious with what I use and what I introduce to my family. I am very cautious of it because I've seen it for way too long.
All right, food forest. You take care. Honestly, guys, when I talk about organic and not using and not introducing and not, I mean, people must just get tired of hearing me say that. But listen, me, I'm trying to eat healthy. I'm not just trying to grow some food. I'm trying to eat healthy that I could live a healthy life, that I can be 90 years and still able to walk outside by myself. You understand? Strong. I'm not, so this is why I try to stay away from, you know, you might be able to do 100% organic, but do it the best you can and the most you can, because at the end of the day, you consuming what you grow?
Um, on that note, where you said you may not be able to do 100% organic, I'm not going to sit here and say I do 100% organic because I'm buying starts. If ever I buy starts, it's because I don't have seed and it's something new that I'm trying to grow, and they may have it at the store. Yes, I would buy that. And do I think it's organic? No, I don't. Right? If I have to buy a tree and it comes in a container with soil in it, do I think that's organic? No. But I'm going to tell you that my practice that I do here, it's natural. It's natural. It's from my chickens and from my garden and food scraps and stuff back to my compost and into my garden. So I know it's not, I wish I can do it 100% organic and I didn't have to depend on the big box store to get a certain fruit tree or so. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm just passionate about practicing the natural way because frankly, that's what I know growing up, right? That's what I know. They've introduced other stuff by this point. I understand that, but I'm gonna continue to do what I know and what I feel is best. Is my choice. I'm not knocking anybody for what they do and how they do it by any means, but at the same time, I know what I want. I know what I want to consume. And like Planta, you always say, I want to be 100 and running around.
Yes,
So I want to make sure, I stay as healthy as I can.
yes, yes, yes. And let's
That's
not
right, Nikki. We do our best.
yeah, not everybody could garden like everybody because everybody don't
True.
have the space.
Right.
Everybody don't have the resources like
Right.
everyone. Like me, I have the space, I have the resource, so I could garden the way I want to garden. So not
Right.
everybody could do it the way I do it, but all I can say, do it the best way you can. If you could eliminate a lot of these sprays that you use, that will help you. You see what I'm saying? If you have, listen me guys, leaf and these things, you'll be surprised how fast these leaf break down. You might watch a pile of leaf and you might say, damn, these leaves gonna take forever for breakdown. But if you throw them in your garden and cover them with dirt, you could even be planting wider leaf inside there. And it's not bothering your plant.
It's not going to burn it. Exactly.
It's not do anything. So just make
Exactly.
sure. I'm not listen me. Guys, I understand. I garden different. But trust me, the way I garden, the result is amazing. You see, the taste I get from my stuff there. When you hear me in my garden eat it, you know what I mean? Is I don't stop till I'm full because everything is so juicy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, not to think anyone, guys. I'm not here to think anyone. I just want to encourage you guys. Do the best you can. Like when Nikki said, we do our best. Do your best. You can't do
Absolutely.
more than you can. Just
Right.
do the best.
Right. I agree.
Yes, but gardening is a beautiful thing, and I know you guys enjoying it, loving it. Of course, it's a beautiful thing, and like I always say, just have an open mind to learn, and you will be surprised how much you learn. And never feel you know enough because you shutting yourself out from learning.
Oh, yes. Cece said, I worry about my garden being in the front yard when the mosquito truck spray.
You see that? I was talking to somebody the other day about that same basket to chop. I was speaking to someone a few days ago about the same mosquito chuck. I remember little and the mosquito chuck blowing.
We had those two growing up in the,
Yes, the mosquito chuck, that chemical the thing
they're
in.
fogging. Yep.
Yes, I
Yeah.
understand what you mean, CC Tech.
So yeah, what I would say to that, CC, is as long as you're doing the best you can and you're doing it your way and you're not contributing more damage to what they're doing because you have no control over that mosquito spray and what they're doing, right? So as long as your practice is natural and you try your best to do it in that way without adding chemicals, I think, it would not eliminate it, but it would give it a good balance.
Right. It mightn't, right. It mightn't, because at the end of the day, like some people say the rain, some people say there's stuff in the air. My thing is, if there's so much stuff in the rain and so much stuff in the air, why am I adding more? Then I'm not growing food.
Right.
So in that case, the truck is passing. Don't let that truck stop you from growing your food. You just try to maintain growing them as natural as possible. Try to stay away from adding more chemical to it. And you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Right, exactly. Because some things you just have no control over it. I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna stop growing food? Absolutely not.
Yeah, because don't let it stop you. Just keep growing. Just don't add too much to it to make it become like chemical instead of food. But I wouldn't stop growing. And don't worry, just keep doing your thing. Just keep doing your thing.
I agree. Is
You know,
anybody,
okay, go ahead.
I was gonna ask if anybody in here is raising animals, like, because all I know about is raising currently is chickens and turkeys. But I
Right,
don't know if anybody in here is raising like cows, like livestock, like goats and
right.
cows and sheep and stuff. Where they if they want to come up and talk about it.
Yes, if anyone want to come up or you have any information about cows, if you're not railing them and you have an idea about cows and their compost, you could come up and say a few things if you like.
I mean, I can also contribute to that. I'm not doing it right now, but we grew up doing it, and I have that knowledge. And back then, we grew a special grass. We called it elephant grass, and that's what we fed the cows with,
Yep,
and other vines and stuff but those things were grown naturally with no chemicals in them. So
yes,
I
that's it.
mean, as far as organic, that's just the practice that we did. When I was growing up, that's a practice my parents did and my grandparents did.
Yes,
So
the only difference, you see, the difference with the way I grew up growing food, the only difference is from time to time they used to use cow manure, they used to use sheep manure, they used to use goat manure. That's the only difference. And the leaf and the bush, the only difference is I don't use them. If I don't get me wrong, if I was growing cow, if I was growing sheep, if I was growing goat, I would have used the manure.
I understand.
You know,
I
but
understand.
but I'm not growing them, so I don't know where they're feeding them with. So
Right.
I'm not interested.
Okay. I totally understand. But as far as those menus, it was just something we did with the cow and the sheep. We had our sheep and we had goats. I personally had sheep and goat growing up. So I had to take care of them too, get the sheep down and, let it compost before we can put it in the garden. So those are, and I mean, we had to let it compost first because it would actually burn the plants. So I knew about that stuff since I was a little girl growing up. So I'm raising chickens and turkeys now, so that's what I do. I make my compost and I feed it to my garden.
I remember using sheep manure. We call them dung. Dung we used to call them. Sheep
Sheep
dung.
dung. Yep.
Yes.
Cow dung, sheep
Yes.
dung.
Yes. When you listen to me, when you use sheep manure, sheep dung, and mix it up with some dirt and plant some lettuce, man, listen to me. Them lettuce shooting up in no time because we used to sell lettuce. So our lettuce, we got to get lettuce every weekend to take to the market. So it's like your lettuce and them sheep manure, goat manure, cow manure, chicken manure, they all beautiful compost in your garden. I see it for myself. You mute.
Sorry about that. And we've done that too, where we would actually, I'm not telling anybody to go do it. If you're not used to it, then don't do it. But we've actually used the manure in the garden without it being composting. You just have to know how to apply it.
Yeah.
I don't practice that now because I make my compost pile and I get it ready for my gardening season, so I don't have to do that. So I do it differently to when I was growing up, but we have done that also growing up.
Yes. We should just like for instance, like on the lettuce stand because we should be lettuce stand half the ground. It's like how you raised bed. We put
Yes.
them up with poles,
Yep. Yep.
and then
Yep.
and they break up the cow manure. You used to break it up
Yes. The cow patties. Yes.
and just
We
sprinkle
used to
it on
say,
the bed. Man,
my mom used to say, Fifi, let's go with me to get some cow shit. And I'm like, cow shit again.
yes. It works.
It
Listen,
does. It does.
it really when you see and you see when it dry and you break it up and
Yes.
sprinkle it, then the rain come,
Yes.
man,
Oh
this
yeah.
plant's gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good compost. It is.
Yeah.
But for the question, if it's organic, yes, it will be organic if
Absolutely.
you feed in the cows, goat, sheep with
Organic
what
feed.
you feeding them with organic feed
Yes.
is organic compost.
I agree.
Because you could use corn. People use corn, grind it, and turn it into feed.
Yes.
You
Make
see?
like a scratch green type thing and feed it. Even like we used to mix corn, cracked corn and coconut. You grate the dry coconut and make feed for your animals that way.
So yes, people actually doing it. So I just wanted to make the point clear that yes, you could get. So don't believe that you can't. You could get organic compost through animal.
Okay, Cece, in the chat, I remember seeing crop dusting planes growing up. I remember that too. There was this one specific plane. We used to call it the banana plane, and they used to spray the banana crops because my island, well, back then they used to, I'm not sure what they're doing now, but we used to export bananas. And so the banana plane used to come in and spray the banana crops with whatever, I don't know, but I remember that clearly growing up.
Yeah. You used to see the plane flying over and letting go this smoke. You ain't know what it is, but
Right. You watch them spray for a few rounds and they spray and they go back and forth and they spray whatever it was. Nobody asked a question, nobody explained anything, so I don't know. I can't tell you what that was about.
that
But it was said that they were spraying the banana crop.
that is true. And you see, this is the thing. We don't ask question. We just accept everything.
Well, we couldn't ask certain questions. So it was just, I think, a cultural thing that you don't ask questions. You do as you're told. And we didn't ask questions, but now I have questions because I want to know. No, what was that?
I agree. Yes.
Fifi, will you raise quail? Oh, will I raise quail? I thought about raising quail. Cece has a question in the chat.
Well,
Um,
the chat is not. What the last message? The last message. What you seeing? The last message is the link I dropped.
oh no, I'm seeing you probably need to refresh. Um,
Yeah.
because there's, yeah, Cece's. in the chat after the link.
Nice. Okay, okay, let me see. Let
You
me go.
probably need to refresh.
I'm gonna go out and come back in and see.
Okay. And then I'll answer the coil question from CC. I'll wait till Planta comes back in to answer the coil question.
No, I'm seeing them. Oh wow.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, okay. I remember seeing crop dusting planes growing up, right? If you will, you risk. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. So I did think about I give that thought already because my family is getting older and my kids are growing up, and pretty soon we won't need to do as much meat as we've been doing because their eating habits are changing. They're eating less and being more picky now. And so to have an entire meat bird that you really don't need, versus having a quail or two, I think, I can take that into consideration because I eat meat. I enjoy eating meat. And so I don't think it would be a big difference from raising chickens, except that it's a smaller size. I still will get meat from it and I will get eggs from it. So that's something that I have considered. I've never done it before. I haven't looked deep enough into it, but it's something that I would consider doing that.
Okay. Have you heard about insect poo? There is a biochar store that sell it along with bat poo. Well, maybe it's good. I wouldn't say it ain't good at all. Cause what the insect eat is plants. You I never heard about it, but I know
Um,
about bat poo. And they say bat poop is very rich. But I never heard they selling insect poo. Okay.
I heard about bat poo. I'm not interested in it because, and it might be something that's in my head because growing up, there were bats, you know. When a bat get into your house in the nighttime, everybody runs out the house because this bat is just flying all over. Everybody's screaming. So I want nothing to do with bat. I'm still traumatized. I don't even want their poop.
Mhm. Never use it, but I
And
bought it
yeah,
rich.
I would like to know what insect the poop is coming from. Not that I'm interested. I just want to be educated on it. I mean, some people may be well aware of it and might be also practicing it. And I mean, it's good for educational purposes and to share the information because some people may be interested, some may not be. But if it's an option for some, then yeah. But I'm not personally interested in it as of now. So let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I never use it, but how that it's rich. I never use it. Okay, is there any more question? I don't know my screen. There's any more question after this one on the screen?
Let me go out and come back in because probably I would need to. Let's see.
Okay, is anyone in the chat?
Um,
Mhm.
Cece said, I will check it out and let you know.
Okay, all right.
Can you see that comment in the chat?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I just went out and came back in and that's when I saw it. So I
Oh,
don't know if you need to refresh again or
okay, let me go and come again just to see.
okay. Yeah, but I mean these things are out there and with development of all these new options that we have. I mean bat poop is not new, but if it's out there and you can actually use it to grow your food and you can compost it or whatever, I'm not sure if you have to compost it. That's what I'm thinking. If you compost it and use it for your garden and that's an option for some, then fine. No judgment here.
To me, you just use what you got. To me, I just interested to know that people actually growing food, growing
Right,
something and trying.
right.
You know what I'm saying everybody have different way of growing because, like I said, not everybody have the same type of resources. But if you could grab some leaf, you should definitely grab some leaf. It will help your soil. Okay? All right.
Hey, Angela Garden Delight. Angie is in here.
Oh, I don't know why I'm not seeing. Hey, Angela, how you doing?
I had to refresh again. I don't know what's going on, but she's in here.
Thank you for coming through. All right, guys. So, what's going on with your garden so far? What is happening? What's going on with your garden so far? I hope you guys having a wonderful garden season. I saw some small pumpkin in my garden today. I was so excited. It's like
Nice.
they just appeared today because I'm sure I saw
You,
fine.
they were there hiding.
Yes, man, I was so happy. But yes, garden season is going wonderful for me, even though I'm getting a lot of hot sun. But
Hmm.
I don't figure out years ago how to grow without water, so it ain't really bothering me. But
Right.
how you guys doing? What is going on with your garden this season?
I'm gonna read the chat if you can't see it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
I
it.
don't know why. So Nikki is saying she's planting seeds. That's what's going on in her garden.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes. So
That's
for our fall garden, Nikki is dropping seeds.
that,
What seeds are you dropping? Oh wow. Cece's Texas garden says this summer heat is trying to unalive my garden. We were 114 degrees today.
damn. Wow.
That's heartbreaking. Knowing that you're trying to grow your food, you have no control over that type of heat, and then the heat comes and scorch everything up. I hope they hang in there, and you're able to get some food and it does not destroy it totally.
Okay. Sissy, next season, next garden season next year, try if you could go down a little deep, you should definitely try to go down a little deep. It will surely help your plants. If you could go down a little deeper than usual, it because when once the root ain't damaged, once the heat ain't penetrating the root, the plant still have a chance to survive. You know, when
That
you
type of heat, yeah.
you get up in the morning, just look at the plant, you're gonna see how beautiful they're looking. In the middle of the day, when the sun start beating them down, they're gonna look quail. In the night, they get back beautiful. So just try, just try to put them a little deeper than usual if you get in that type of sun. That will surely help you.
Okay, so Urban Gardening Chronicles is in the house. Hey Urban, how are you?
Hi, Urban, how you doing?
You might need to refresh again to see. I
Yeah,
don't know
because
if you can.
I'm not seeing it. Let me go out and come back in. I don't understand.
And Nikki is growing kale, mustards, collards, Swiss chard, cilantro, beets, carrots. That's awesome. That's awesome. Really good cool weather crops.
Okay, hey Urban, what's up? Hi everyone. Okay, okay, okay. Growing kale, mustard, green. Oh wow, you're going hard, Nikki. That's what
Yes.
I'm talking, man. When you get the
Yes.
time, put them in the earth, man. Put them in the soil.
Yes.
Make use of the time.
I
Okay.
even planted. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was saying I even planted some cucumbers too. So I've been dropping seeds also, mostly leafy greens and brassicas that can withstand the cooler weather in the fall. So, that's what I'm doing also, dropping seeds. I never stop. And even the herbs too.
You know, I
Because the weather is really good for them to germinate right now, and they're gonna be good for the fall.
I set some cucumber seed yesterday, which is the first time I trying to grow cucumber this late. I just want to see. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
if I ain't try, I wouldn't know. I want to see the result and cucumber don't take long. So,
That's the thing. So you can get a second crop. Yep.
right, so I just want to see because you want to test the plants, you want to test the garden because you want to try to grow as much food as possible during that garden season. So if you could, this is why I'm saying, like in August, July, August, you start looking for shorter crop, short days crop. Or if not, you try to plant plants that can deal with the cold. So when the cold comes on, they still could survive. But you got to think about these plants because you want to plant stuff that you could able to harvest. Not plant and then the coldness come and hit them, then you can't get nothing from them.
Right.
You got to study this thing. This thing is like you're in school. Garden is like you in school studying. You have to study. You
Right.
have to sit down and figure out the whole thing. What am I growing this year? What plant is short crop? These things are very important.
Right.
You have long days crop, you have short days crop. You want to make sure that you know these things so you know what time of year you could plant this and if it's too late to plant it. So you wouldn't be wasting your time.
Right.
So
Uh,
it's very important to study what you're doing before the year come. So when
right.
the year comes, spring come, you're ready to go.
And in the fall is when I plant most of my brassicas, to be honest with, well, not in the fall. I plant it late summer, sometimes July and August to get a harvest in the fall, and it goes up until winter because carrot stays well, beets, they stay well in the soil. Brassicas, certain brassicas do better than others, and so that's what I do, to get a lengthy growing period where I can actually harvest fresh. Sometimes you would think that, oh, it's so cold and the leaves are frozen. No, I did a video showing last year, this thing looked like it was frozen. And it's like it thawed and it was still fresh and green. I was like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
So, that taught me that, okay, and I'm going in hard because if you read the seed packets, you would notice on the seed packets, it would tell you how many days from sowing the seeds to maturity. And that's a good idea on what you should plant at a certain time, how much time it would take, and if it's frost hardy or if it's not frost hardy. All that information is on the package. So it's a really good guide to follow as to, what to grow later on in the season.
Yeah, well, me already. I don't grow much in the fall. That's when I work on my soil because I try to maintain my soil on a level. So I don't really grow much during the fall. This is why I try to do so much in the spring that I can get enough food for go through the fall and go through the winter and still have food. But I'm not gonna tell you guys not to plant fall garden. You should. If you have the space and the time, you should definitely try to plant some food in the fall. You should definitely. Hey baby, how you doing?
I have a little farmer here.
Okay,
Yes, I walk this little farmer through the garden, and we go in the garden, and he's eating from my garden. So
that's good. That's
he's
good.
gonna be a gardener too. I'm
That-
taking him under my wings.
That's good. Baby food. Baby
Yes.
food right from the garden, fresh.
Oh, yes. We're not buying anything in no jar or in no
You
can.
know what? I was telling somebody that the other day. I said, you could make your own baby food instead of
Absolutely.
buying food out the jar.
Right.
You could grab stuff out the garden, blend them up, carrots, all these beans, blend them up for the baby. Instead of you got to go and buy food that processed fresh from the garden.
Exactly. And he enjoys it. I give it to him every day, food from my garden. I enjoy giving him food from my garden.
That's good. That's good.
It's a really good feeling because to be honest, I wasn't able to do that for my kids, right? Cuz I mean, I didn't have a place to grow it at the time when my kids were babies. You know what I mean? So I wasn't able to do that. And so I'm able to do it now for him. So that's what I'm doing and it feels really good. It feels different.
Yeah. I think that's where I think people got to start to look into stuff like that. Fresh fruits. You make your own fruits, your peach. Make your own little peach thing for the baby, your own little. Yeah, I think so. Fresh from the garden. Grow them up healthy and strong. When you grow them up like that, you hardly got to take them to the hospital. And
Right, exact.
no
That's
joke.
the thing. We ate from our garden, and I have never been to a hospital when I was growing up. I don't remember any of us being sick in the hospital. Not even my parents, not even my grandparents. There was always something in the garden that can help you fix whatever is going on, if it's a stomach ache, a belly ache. And for that matter, people didn't get sick often back then. So I mean, why would I do it different?
And this is why I'm telling a lot of people, this is why I keep saying, try to grow them as natural as you can. I'm not saying 100% as natural as you can. You see, herbs, I will not throw anything around herbs. You see what? As less, yeah, I throw my leaf on them, but that's the most. Herbs is something that get have healing product inside them. You see what I'm saying? And
Yes.
you want that healing product out of them when you drinking, while you eating them, drinking, however you consuming them. You want to get that. So you don't want to throw these chemical drying that away. It's sucking it from the plant and pushing in its own thing and overpower what the herb's supposed to offer. So that's why I'm saying I would not. If it's me and you guys, I will just grow herbs in dot, just the raw dot, and from time to time, I add some leaf and stuff around. Just let your herb grow natural. That's all I will say.
I agree. We have a couple questions in the chat. I don't know if you're able to see it.
Okay, let me go back. I gotta go. I don't understand why I'm not getting these things. Okay, let me go. Okay.
All right. So these questions are for Planter. So he'll answer them once he pops back in. I can see the chat, but for some reason he haven't been able to see the chat.
Yes, I'm back now. Okay.
Here he is. Okay.
Okay. Hi, Sissy. Hi, Texas Lala. How you doing? Hi, Angela Orban. Thank you guys for coming in. Oh, wow. I ain't seen them. Wow,
Yeah.
I miss everything. Wow.
Yes, we have to engage the people in the chat. I don't mean to keep cutting you off, but I realize that you're not seeing them and I don't want to address them because this is your chat, your
Not rolling.
platform.
I don't know why it's not rolling. So it just stuck at, yeah. So when I go out and come back, that's when I'm seeing.
Okay.
Okay, let me see the question. Let's go into the question. Okay.
So
Okay.
there's a question from Nikki. Um,
Oh, okay, hold on. Let me go back up to the top. Hi, okay, all right. Hold. Okay. Okay, who have the question? Okay, let me see. Okay, Nikki say also a second round of squash and bush beans.
So
Okay,
keep
that's
going.
wonderful. Let me go down. I said basil and beets. Okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. My spinach germinate easy and plants that went to seed volunteer popping up. Okay, that's wonderful. That's beautiful. Okay. All right. Yes, quick crop. Yes, short crop. Very important. I did bush squash. Okay.
Computer trying to die on me here.
I have peppers growing in my hydroponic garden. Okay, all right. All right.
How are those peppers doing?
Okay, planter, does your summer harvest carry through the winter? Yes. Yes, Nikki, my garden produce right down to November. From
Nikki,
spring straight to November, the last frost.
Nikki, you gotta remember we're the one living in the cold. You have the longer growing period, so you are growing all the way up.
Yeah, I don't, that's why I don't even need to do summer guard, spring, because my okra go right down, my pepper go right down, sometimes my squash them go right down, so basically it's just harvest, harvest, harvest. Yes, right down. Planter, you do grow fall crop in what?
I'm shocked that you don't grow fall crops
No, my garden produce straight
because
through. So
it
it's
doesn't need
basically
to.
no need for me to really plant, winter. What I do, I use that time and work on my soil. But at the same time, I have food growing right down to November. And then my Edo crop coming very soon. I'm going to do my Edo harvest like in October. So it's just food. You know? Oh, sweet boy. Okay. What is that? Let me see. Oh, okay. Oh, that's a baby. That's a baby.
Yeah,
Oh,
no planter, not you.
I love fall growing. Fall growing is a good thing. You eliminate a lot of, you can't deal with too much bugs. And
Oh yeah,
you feel different. It
oh
is a
yeah.
good feelings. It is. It is. You see? Yes, make your own. Yep, I agree with that. Make your own baby food. Hi, Texas. Lala, how you doing? Okay. Your food is held for him. Yep.
Oh yeah, he loves
Hey,
it.
Pretty June, how you doing? I don't see chat. I
Oh, I
don't
did.
stream link.
Okay, now I need to refresh because I didn't see GT.
I don't
I
know
don't
what's
see him
going
here
on.
on my screen on my thing.
I need. Oh, you see the chat. Okay.
Let
Yes.
me
So
let
it's
me
in
go
the chat
in
now.
here.
I don't know what's going on, but my chat keep like it freezing. I don't know
I
what.
didn't see. I just saw it on the screen.
So even by you, it happening over there.
I don't know what's. I don't see GT in my chat. Okay, let's see. Hey GT, if you're here, sorry.
Maybe you got to refresh and come in because.
Ay, ay, ay.
But guys, what this year, right? What happened? Let me ask you guys something. Did you guys see any strange bug this year? Did you guys have any real bug problem this year? Or the garden is just doing wonderful?
Really, I want to know whose garden is doing wonderful, planter.
Yeah, I need to know. I need-
Is your garden doing wonderful with them handworms and them?
Well, they gone long time.
What handworms you showed? You did a video with them handworms. I'm like,
Them
mm-mm.
get rid of long time, months ago. Right now,
Man.
my garden is doing wonderful right now. I just want to know, I want to encourage others who, let me see. Okay, the chat move now. I now see, okay. Let me know, guys. Let me know how your garden going. Okay, let me know how your garden going. Have you planted any new plant this year that you so amazed that amaze you so much? Okay, now the chat is moving.
I grew for the first time this year the Georgia North Georgia candy roaster. Ooh, that thing is huge. I haven't tasted it yet, but I'm excited. I'm just letting it cure for now. I mean, it got to maturity, and now I'm gonna just sit it on my drying rack to my shelf to dry off, and I can store it up. But yeah, it's massive.
Yes, that's it.
It's
My
massive.
my butternut squash them now. I'm kind of leave. I want to wait till the vine is brown. You know, like when the vine is brown, because that's when you pick them, they could last way longer.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? So
right,
that's what I'm trying to do because I need to save as much food that can last me right through the winter, right through the even through the spring. I'm still able
right.
to cook. Meanwhile, until harvest time start again.
I agree.
So what is going on, guys? Anyone having problem in their garden or the garden doing wonderful? What is going on?
CC's Texas garden. I'm growing patty pan squash. Um, oh, you have a longer growing season too, because I was gonna ask if it's so I have this white squash that I'm growing. It's a summer squash. And I have the vining variety, and I recently, probably about 2 weeks ago, put seeds down for the bush variety of it. I'm not sure if I'm calling it the right thing, if it's the same thing, but it's a flat looking white squash, but it's a summer squash.
Yeah, I harvest a lot of squash this year. It's so much squash I harvest this year. I'm telling you.
Listen, I pickled some, I plant some and freeze it. I'm eating some, I'm grilling it. It's just a lot.
Yeah, I have.
They grow a lot because I did this for the summer squash. I did the regular green one. What do you call that one? I think it's is it Black Beauty? The zucchini. I'm not even sure, but I did the gray zucchini, the yellow summer grilla, and the cocozelle. And the cocozelle is a huge, the big one, the really big one. So those plants, I mean, they put out, once you keep the vine healthy and you keep pruning it, it just sends out all these flowers. Yes, it does send out a lot of male flowers, but I just pop some of the male flowers, and that would just, the plant will just send out more flowers, and a lot of times it would be a lot of the female flowers. So
Yeah,
that gets pollinated, and you have tons and tons of squash. You have to figure out what you're gonna do with it.
yeah, them squash producing,
A
and I
lot.
I see so much small one because when the rain come the other day, it push out so much flowers. It's just like
Right,
flowers was just shooting out. No,
right.
I'm seeing so much little squashes coming out. So, and guys, even a squash looking like it think the leaf is drying, that doesn't mean the squash done. All I does do, I just pick them off and just let the sometimes my squash vines grow 10 feet in length. Just keep growing. While you clipping them, they just keep growing, pushing more leaf and keep producing.
Right.
So just be mindful of that. Not because the leaf might look dry, mean the plant finish. No. Take care of that plant. Get rid of all them dry leaf, and yes, it will produce more. Ah, no, I gotta go and come again. Let me see.
It doesn't get cold till January. This is what CC's Texas Garden is saying. You are lucky.
Wow.
It is already chilly here. Not cold to freezing, but come September, October, it gets really cold around here in my zone. And I mean, it's for the plants, I think some of the plants will do okay still. Even the peppers, the pepper plants do well with a little cold, but there's no January. January is like the deep winter for us here. January, February is the deep winter. That's when we get most of our snow constantly. So,
You
yeah.
know, and that January, February is my month to plant brassica.
Imagine that.
Use January, February, my goodness. Them things does produce beautiful. Okay, now the chat rolling. Let me see. Okay. I want to go candy roaster.
Do it,
Okay,
Nikki. It's worth it. Try it.
okay, you should try it.
Try it.
I'm growing patty pan squash. Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, all right. It doesn't get cold till January. Oh wow, that's a long growing season to listen to me. Since it
Does it ever get cold where CC is?
listen to me, you should have food ongoing. You shouldn't stop planting at all, sis. Wow. Okay, I want to go patty pan. I never tried it before, but if it just squash ball, then not.
Girl, you gotta eat. What you mean, nah?
Oh man.
Nah. Oh no, thank you. I'll pass on the 114 CC. No. I'm an island girl and it has never ever gotten cold this hot in the island to 114. So no.
I see none of you all see. Driving. I see none of what you all see. Driving but listening. What you mean? You're not seeing nothing?
He's over there.
Let me see. 30 is freezing. Below 30 is kind of dangerous. 30, 25, that's freezing mark. That, yeah, that's below 30 is freezing. GT saying that I see none of
Yeah.
what you all seeing. Driving but listening. I don't understand how you not see. No, I don't
I'll,
know.
I'll, I'll, I'll talk to him in the chat.
Go over to plant garden TV.
Yeah.
Oh, then he and it. Where he at?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he and the other. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay. Okay, all right, all right.
I'll take care of that.
Okay. All right. So who are growing pumpkin this year? Because I'm excited. Pumpkin is coming in like crazy now. So who are growing pumpkin this year?
I am.
Okay. All right. Is anyone in the chat going pumpkin this year?
Let me go back out and come back in because I'm not sure if anybody's. Okay. Yes, Texas Lala is growing pumpkin.
Oh wow. Okay. All
I don't
right.
know if you can see it.
All right. Growing pumpkin. Okay. That's wonderful. You see,
So,
why I like
yeah.
to cook pumpkin is because it could last. And this is the kind of food I'm trying to grow. Food that could last for a long time. Sorry to hear that, CC Texas. Wow. Well, you got more time. You should
Oh
have.
yeah, you actually do have more time. You have a longer season. Girl, drop some more seeds.
Yeah, you
Put
should.
them to soak overnight And that's what I do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying what I do. It speeds it up.
GT is in your other channel. You're like, oh, GT in the other channel.
I dropped the link for him over there, so he can click on it. It'll make it easier.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
hopefully he pops in over here.
Got you. Thank you, Aban. Well, Sissy, you have so much growing season. You have enough time to actually put a few more, put some more pumpkin in the ground. Listen, if it's me and you, I just throw in seed. I'm telling you. Yeah,
Right.
I just throw in seed. I'm telling you. Me, I'm growing pumpkin until I, I'm growing pumpkin until I see squash bug. You know what, Tony?
Oh no.
Tony, I was in the garden and I see you talking about squash bug. I see some yellow one on my leaf them. Some yellow with like black feet, black feet.
Those are cucumber beetles. That's what they call them. I did a video yesterday, cucumber beetles.
And we did win at my squash because it,
Oh, you prefer to have them on your cucumber?
could be over there, you know what I mean?
And those things, I don't know which one did it, but they actually got into the pumpkin itself, so I had to harvest that one.
Man, these
And
things,
I was pretty upset.
wow. Obansai
Yeah.
planted pumpkin but was late planting in the ground and sealing dry up. Not sure what survived. Okay. Well, I wouldn't tell you to plant no one because I don't know how your when your fall start, when your cold weather start, but
N- not for the vining ones. If maybe you have a bush one and you want to do it in a container, I would still say try it because I gotta look to see if I have a bush variety, and I would, because I try things, I try things, and I tend to look for the ones that may have a shorter season, or the ones that may be a bush variety versus a vining variety. So that bush variety, I can probably put it in a container and bring it in. So I'm not telling anybody that you'll be successful do it. I'm just saying that I'm open to trying all those different things to see what I can grow when and how I can grow it and if I can provide the adequate conditions for it to grow successfully. So I just think it's a good way of, testing the waters and see what you're able to do.
okay, but it won't be here for the garden pumpkin patch. Okay, okay. I got it homestead. How you doing?
Goodies is laughing at you because you said, "What is it doing on my pumpkin?" You prefer it on a cucumber, I guess.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
We plant and know. Okay, that's wonderful. That's the thing. Don't give up.
100,
Don't give up.
118 degrees. I can't.
And, that's some kind of weather, there, man. And I give you guys props for still growing under that condition. I give you guys props. Don't give up at all. You got to eat. Yeah.
Right. And then some places too is getting all this heat and then a lot of flooding rains and stuff because that's what we've been getting, for the whole season, a lot of rain, like flooding rains, heavy downpours.
Mm.
So I mean everybody's battling with something, either the weather or planters pumpkin bugs.
Yeah, man. I see them today. I'm saying, wait, you guys will destroy my crop. I ain't gonna allow that. I gotta eat
Right. It's
my watermelons right now. Okay. My watermelon no pushing out some small ones, so I think I have time. But you have a lot of time, sis. You could grow your
oh yeah.
body. Okay.
Does anybody feel like this has been the most challenging gardening year? Or I just feel for some reason it's always something or the other. in the garden that you have to battle for this year. That's how I feel. Because it's just constant, constant, constant. I be in there like several times a day. If I see a butterfly, I love the butterflies, but I just go in to see if they're laying in my plants and if they're destroying. I mean, you just have to pay attention, and I feel like it's been such a challenging year, whether it's the rain, like I said, or something. I don't know how you guys feel about that, about the gardening season this year.
I know all in the spring. I know in the spring, them hornworms. I don't know where they come from, but I mean, I get rid of them all, but I ain't seen no more. I was grateful.
Listen, I have seen these things in my garden before, but not the quantity that I've experienced this year. I mean, my chickens were happy, but at the same time, these things were literally on the fence, not even on a plant. I have never seen them on the fence. It's it's ridiculous.
The last 2 years, the sun was born in everything last year. Oh wow.
Oh no.
Yes, last year was pretty hot as well. I remember last year I did like 3 weeks plus without rain, and the soil was so dry. You know what I'm saying? But plants survived. But this year again, I've been getting hot sun non-stop. So I don't know. I think the weather is changing somehow or the other. I don't know, but it's been challenging with the weather, and I'm seeing few strange bugs that I never. I've been doing garden for so long, and I actually seeing bugs that I never saw before. So things
Right.
things happening.
Yes.
I feel like it's a challenge because I have a garden channel with 1,000 eyes watching. You know what, say? Just focus on what you're doing. Don't study the eyes. Focus on what you're doing.
Trust me, it's more than 1,000 eyes, CC.
Don't study who watching. You focus on what you're doing. You check what I'm saying and just continue. All right? Grow them food, man. You're doing great. You're doing great.
Don't do Lala that, please, Sissy.
Wait, let me see. Okay. Yes, Fifi, but it was just because of, okay, all right. Okay. I cover most plant or put DE. The bugs are feeling my only plants left for them to damage is Nasturtium. What that be?
That's just, yeah.
Nasturtium.
And those are my trap
And
crops.
those,
Yep.
oh really? So well, how about wait?
Nasturtium.
What you say? Them bugs is really you cover most plants. The bugs them is did you ever try like a vinegar, Urban? I mean, vinegar is one of the most natural thing I see. I see out there. I'm not. That's the most natural I see that could really handle bugs. So if you're having bugs problem, maybe I'm not telling you to do it, but maybe you should try some vinegar because it worked for me in the past. It really did.
The nasturtium is a trap plant because the bugs tend to go towards that plant, and that's why it's planted in the garden. So the bugs would tend to go to that plant versus the other plants that you have there growing for your food. So that's why some people plant that nasturtium in the garden for those bugs.
Lala,
And
you
the DE is a natural. It's natural. The diatomaceous earth. That's all natural stuff.
the bug
Um,
all over my
I don't
neighbor
know.
yard. 50 boards cover everything. A lot of us for them to eat. Wow. 50 boards. The boards are all over a neighbor yard. 50 boards.
Wow.
Damn. That's a lot of boards. I mean, I have a lot too, but just to be in your yard, just one place, that's a lot of boards. Damn. Wow. Plants in here. Wow.
Yeah.
Kaneki, I thought only. Wow. Yeah.
Texas. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I think you missed Texas. Lala was saying she's waiting for the temperatures to cool in Texas because she thinks her watermelon have sunburn. She thought it was rot, but she thinks it's sunburn.
I'm just, oh,
Sadly,
wow.
that's some heat.
You guys, listen, you
That
guys,
is some real heat. Triple digits.
my goodness. I mean, I'm talking about I'm getting heat, but it's nothing compared to what you guys getting.
Right.
For real. I mean, but you know what? You guys not giving up, and that's what's matter.
That's the spirit. That's what I like. And even if you guys don't go on and share videos, but you're in here saying what you're doing and you're actually still gardening. If you don't, I don't see everybody videos all the time because I put out videos, but I'm in the garden. I'm busy all day, every day. This is gardening season. So pardon me if you're not seeing me on the YouTube streets like I used to be, but I'm trying to grow my food and storing up my food. And it's good to see that everybody's out here doing their thing and growing their food. I feel good about that. That's awesome.
And you guys
It's really encouraging.
for not giving up. You know me already. I always pushing and encouraging people.
Right.
And to see you guys listen, to see you guys dealing with that kind of heat and still, because a lot of people want to give up, plenty of people want to say, no, I can't
Oh,
deal with
yeah.
heat and stop. But you guys still doing it. That's courage. That's courage. Nah, it's hot here, but I don't want M. You're gonna have to see. Let them see
Good
bacteria.
eat.
Oh man.
Oh,
Wow.
I can't with y'all.
For the board. So I take it over. Oh, okay, I got you. Lots of bugs for the board. So yes, and the boards will be coming. I'm telling you, the boards
Urban,
will
I'm
be
telling you,
coming.
those birds are trained.
They will be coming. I tell
They're trained. Planta say, I train my birds to eat them bugs.
you, yes.
Girl, you train them birds to eat them bugs too.
Clean up your garden for you. Yeah,
Oh
they
yeah.
will. They will. But what it seems like this year is pretty challenging for because I hear a lot of people talking about the heat. And now I'm hearing about the heat tonight again. So yes. And the bugs. See a lot of strange bugs this year. I ain't gonna lie. I never see them. Doing garden for so much years, I never see them before. And all
Uh,
of a sudden I'm seeing these type of bugs. I have huge grasshoppers.
People eat grasshoppers.
People eat grass. I'm
It's a
sure they do.
delicacy.
I'm
Or
sure they
locust.
do.
Is it? Yeah, it's grasshoppers. People eat grasshoppers.
I'm sure they do, but I don't see myself eating no grasshopper. But I'm sure people do. But then you never know. Push come to shove. You-
Push come to shove, I won't be eating meat
I'm
if it
telling
has to
you,
come to that. That's ridiculous.
free
I think
protein. Do you like chocolate?
free protein. Do you like chocolate?
Free protein. Wow. But yes, guys, don't listen me. One thing I know, and it don't care how long you're doing garden for, it doesn't matter. There will always be challenge in the
Oh
garden.
yeah.
There will always be times when you feel like, man, these things is doing too much. But you have the power to overcome and defeat them. You're supposed to, this is your garden. You want food from them, you're supposed to make sure you overpower these things however you can. But you shouldn't make it stop you from eating.
Right. I
Chocolate,
agree. And when you
pepper, chocolate cover grasshopper. Wow. I want to soothe them with rain, but then my dogs will try to eat them. Okay.
what are the tree rats? It's that the squirrels.
Who said that? Let me see. The sky the limit. Yes, the sky is the limit. Don't ever limit yourself. I will eat the tree rats before the grasshopper.
I my squirrels don't eat. My squirrels don't scavenge. I watch them. I've been watching them for years.
Oh man.
They eat and they eat well in my garden. They eat all the acorns and all the hickory, shagbark hickory nuts and all that stuff. I don't see them eating. I pay attention, Nikki. If push come to shove, squirrel it is. I have been watching them for years, at least 10 years. So let's have a conversation.
Grasshopper for 400. Okay. Squirrels, okay. And I'm seeing that now. Always a challenge, but honestly, this garden community always motivate and encourage me. You guys are awesome. Thank you, thank you. Yes, I'm glad. Once you in the garden, you want to face a challenge every year, not just 1 year. Every year. Sometimes you might slip through easy, where everything just go like perfect for you. But I guarantee you, sometimes
Challenges are gonna come, yeah.
it could be very devastating. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? When you start to see the bugs, when you start to see worms, them butterfly coming and laying on your stuff, and then the little eggs, then the worms start eating down your crop. That could be devastating, and it also could be very challenging. It could make you want to give up, but please
Right.
do not make these things stop you from growing food, your food
It,
at
it,
all.
yeah, it could be overwhelming too because while this is going on, you're thinking about remedying the issue while this is July and August, and you're thinking about, okay, my fall garden, okay, I need to put this in the ground, I need to do this, I need to harvest that. And so that's what's going on with me as we speak, because I got to pay attention to these all these different bugs that are in my garden. Then I got to harvest stuff. I got to preserve them. I got to plant, drop my fall seeds. It's always something. Always.
I had a squirrel sneak in and eat. You had a squirrel sneaking and eating your tomatoes. Man, that's what I'm telling you, man. These things, they're not easy. I have a be starving. I'd have to be. Oh, you have to be starving to
To
eat.
eat the squirrels, yeah.
Okay.
I would roast that thing and season it up good and roast that thing on the grill. Put it on the rotisserie, let it slow cook,
Okay.
and start picking the legs off one by one.
Oh, but my sunflower head was removed. Now I see four seedlings coming up that look like sunflower. The, are you serious? They take off the head? Wow. What?
They buried, they probably buried it for the winter because that's what I'm noticing in my deck boxes. I was like, are you kidding me? I dropped some. sweet peas, but it's a dwarf variety and it's a short crop. So I dropped the seeds in those planters on my deck. This morning I woke up and I went outside and they're all dug up. They're already sprouted, but they're dug up because the squirrels are now looking for places to hide the acorns and all the nuts that are falling and store it up for the winter months. So that's what's going on. They're digging and hiding away stuff for the winter months.
But
Yep.
you see, what I like with sunflower, they they come back when the seed fall, they come back in the spring. I love that about sunflower.
Yes, they overwinter.
They come whether it's winter, yes or no, they go through the winter and they spring
Yep.
back up. So Urban, but you see the thing is now, Urban, it's too late. It may be too late for them now, for them to produce. I want to just leave them to go. Maybe who knows? But I understand how them squirrel could be, man. That's what
Yeah.
we're talking
This
about.
will mess with your plans.
Just like sometimes they empty my peach tree. Sometimes they just eat, one time they leave one for me. You know what I mean? So
Here you go, sir. You can have this one. But you can't get mad at them. Like I enjoy watching them and I want them to share in my garden, and that's the truth because I plant sufficient food and I want to see the wildlife around, you know? So I don't mind them having some and I'm having some and I have some to store up. It's enough. And then when the time comes, if that time comes, then, squirrel stew, organic squirrel stew with, I mean, that sounds good.
the squirrel only go after my peaches. That's what they love. Yeah, they love peaches. They don't fool with the rest of my garden. You know what they like too? My corns. Corn, they love
Don't say corn.
corn.
Please don't say corn. No, I have to watch out for them. I didn't know they eat corn.
Yeah, they love corn. That's why I don't plant too much corn because they just take over.
Well, you should have said that.
Yeah, they just take over my corn. So I
I
just
st-
plant a few, knowing I ain't gonna get none. You know what I mean?
Oh wow. I
Yeah.
did not that. Well, I grew some corn this year again, and I'm like, let me see what's going to just a few of them because they're different varieties, and I just wanted to see what they would turn out to be. So that's what I did.
Yeah. So okay. Who said who said 118 degrees? Been listening but driving. Who? That's Texas.
Angela or Texas or Cece's Texas Garden.
Yeah, that's super hot. Hell yeah. That's some kind of weather will knock you out if that heat could knock you out for real.
Yep, that is super hot. Like nobody's supposed to be able to function in that type of heat.
Yeah, that's some
And
kind.
then the humidity with it, yeah.
And then sometimes, well, that depends. Like if you're in the big city, like in the city where the concrete, the big building, when you get them kind of weather, even in the night, when the building start push off the heat, the humidity still remain. You know what I'm saying? So the heat, even in the night, you still hot. Oh, that's Arizona. Damn. Wow.
Wow, 122 degrees.
I have only had
Wow.
6 days of 70 degrees.
Oh, wow. That's good weather, though.
Wow. 60 degrees, 70 degrees ain't that bad. But
That's good gardening weather.
you still, ah, I rather that than 122. GT, my in Arizona hottest was 122. My goodness. I rather deal with the 70 than 122. I tell you that.
Absolutely.
180. Oh, wow.
Listen, when it's 90 degrees, I lay low. I don't move. I
Wow.
don't move around too much. I come out early in the morning, 5:30, 6 o'clock. I go in my garden. I spend a couple hours before the sun comes up, and then I'm done for the day. I'm not out there in that heat.
That's
Because a heat stroke could come on real quick and you may not even realize it's happening. I've done that before. It's very dangerous.
that's why I love to
I
get
don't
up.
play with that.
That's why I like to get up in the morning early before the sun and go in the garden and walk until I feel like stop. I don't like to go out when the sun is on your back, man. It's like it's too much. If you're there and the sun comes, it's okay. You walk until. But to go out while the sun is burning, I can't do it. So I'll have to do it from morning, early morning when it clear out. I'm in the garden, right? The sun is just not beating down on your butt. It's still. You're right. You're right. Wow. I will prefer you as that's yeah, that's some kind of heat. It's scary hearing about them kind of temperature for real. I forget how hot is it until step outdoors. Feel like a slap in the face. Damn. And I'm talking about a heat. Wow. I'm thinking I will start my summer garden in September. Okay, okay. Well, all you gotta do, you just plant your brassica and stuff. That could deal with the weather. If you start in September, wait, Angela, you get cold weather over there, Arizona. You in Arizona? Do you get cold weather? Yeah, Arizona do get cold weather. Not you sending praise. Wow. And I thought I get cold. I'm getting heat. Wow. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, we don't get that hot up here in the north, like in the far north.
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm not saying it can't happen. It's possible because it's happening elsewhere. So I'm never going to say never. But at the same time, we don't get that hot. We may go to 101, 102, not regularly, but we've already hit the 90s a few times so far, but it already started getting cooler.
And Angela said, you got to, you get out your car and run grocery store, Walmart, gas station. So you got to run. My goodness, wow. Well, I got to stop talking about the heat. I stop. I ain't gonna say anything again because you guys are almost doubling what I'm getting. I mean,
Oh yeah.
got to go. You all have it. All right. Thank you, Sissy Texas Garden. Appreciate you coming through. Thank you for sticking up with us. Just keep on growing.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
get discouraged. And remember, you have enough time to
Yeah.
plant more pumpkin and plant more food. Just
Do
do
the best you can. Yeah. Just do your part and don't worry about the rest. Just do what you can do. That's all you can do.
it's in the low hundred in November. What?
What?
In November, low hundred. What?
Wow. It's still hot in November.
I'm not gonna complain no more. I'm sorry. Wow. I need more heat. My garden is not doing what I want it to do. Yes, because like you say, you get in 70 degrees.
Mm.
Yes. I mean, plants love cool, but trust me, plant love heat too.
They actually need the heat. Some
And they,
plants need the heat. Yeah.
and they strive way better. Because when you talk about pepper, you talk about tomato, you talk about okra. These plants,
Eggplant. Yep.
these plants love heat. I don't care what nobody say. They love heat. So Certain plants, if they're not getting that full heat, they're not gonna do well. You know what I'm saying? Certain plants, 70 degrees is perfect. They love that. But certain plants, 70 degrees is not hot enough for them. So that's why I believe you might be having the situation.
Right.
Let me see. Hey Mike, how you doing? Thank you for being here.
Hey, Mike. Good to see you.
I will hopefully get to build a greenhouse next year. 6 days up to 70 is enough for peppers.
That'd be a good idea.
Over over 70, yes. Pepper. So my experience, pepper strive better in hot sun. They love, don't care how hot it be. They strive, they love it. So I
I
don't,
feel like they need that to get going.
yeah,
That
they
type of heat
love
to get going first. Yeah.
pepper love that, man. I'm telling you. You know, right now I'm already hitting 6 feet pepper trees. Right, and look the time. This we still have until November. But I have pepper tree already hit, and we in what? August? Right. You see what I'm saying? So they love heat. I'm telling you right now. Okay, Mike said I was in the garden. Peppers and tomatoes like 76. That's temperature keep my house out. 76. To me, listen me, for what I see, well, everybody have different experience, but for what I see, the more hotter the sun, the faster them peppers go. For my experience, don't send me too much. Okay, okay. I might as well go out in the garden with butter.
Yep.
It's,
Yeah, because they're out there cooking.
yeah,
It's time to eat.
I agree.
No, but on a serious note, like GT just said, with the weather, you have to adjust. So he's already making plan for next year. It seems with the challenges he's having because people want to grow their food. And if this heat is gonna continue on and people are gonna be struggling with their garden like that in the future, like what are we supposed to do? What are our options? What adjustment do we need to make? And we would need to make it before the actual gardening season is here. So these are all things that we need to be mindful of.
Yeah,
It's tough.
is you got to adjust. Like
Right.
you see, like last year something happened, especially down in the south. Something happened that people didn't experience for a long time. That cold weather that kills, that destroy all these crops, all these fruit trees. People gotta try. What are the
Mm.
people gotta come up with plans because you can't allow this weather for destroy a crop every year.
Right.
So you got to
And
figure out what are you gonna do. So this is what garden is about: is figuring out and
right.
adjusting.
And when you see things like that happening and you have never had to protect certain trees or fruit trees before because you didn't have those issues and they weren't happening, or I should say weren't happening on a regular basis like that, now you have to like think ahead and think like, what am I going to do to prepare in a case where a cold snap is going to come, or a period of 3 4 days of cold is going to come. Is it going to destroy my food, my trees, my fruit trees that I already have there growing for such a long period and actually getting food from it? You got to figure out what your options are to protect those. It's tough. It's getting tougher too.
This is why. Listen, me, I'm not sure how long we will be growing food outside. I'm not sure at all because the way I see things going. Hey, Leslie and Bent, how you doing?
Hello, Leslie, and how are you?
The way how I see things is going. If I mean, if you're growing fruit trees, what can you really do to save your fruit tree from crop? Big, huge fruit trees. What can
Right.
you actually do to save them from a cold, freezing weather?
I have seen some people, should I say, insulate their trees, like put the PVC and build like a frame around it and cover it with some frost protection covering. People actually do that, and that's if the trees are not big, like too big,
Right.
especially if it's like a dwarf variety, probably, or they've been pruning it in a way and keeping it in a certain fashion that it doesn't grow too much out of hand and they're able to cover it. But for the people that this is new to, this type of cold is new to and is damaging your food, and you're not prepared for that, like what do you do? Like, you know?
Like, like for instance, there's big companies that growing fruit trees. That's why indoors gonna become the place where they're gonna be growing food in these big tall towers.
Yeah,
This is what's happening because now they're gonna force you to do that. Because if the weather, where, what can you do for you all these fields
yeah,
you have of orange tree, peach tree?
right.
How would you understand what I'm saying? So
And every individual can't don't have the space for a high tunnel or can't afford a high. This thing is expensive,
I'm telling you,
and people are not able to purchase these things. Like, I'm not able to do that.
that's what I'm saying.
So
They will push.
I mean,
Is
it's tough.
either buy the food because the weather, I believe, will be pushing you out of your garden. I really believe that will be happening in the future. The type of weather that will be coming, and there will be reason why you cannot grow food outdoor as well. Oh no, you cannot grow because such and such, and because now, if you notice in certain places, they have indoors garden, the big, huge tower them that they actually doing it indoors, and that's what they're trying to bring forth now. So when you look at all these fruit trees, these companies would hunt thousands of fruit trees lying out, and the weather destroy all of them from producing. What can they do to save it from that weather? Indoors. You see what I'm saying? Tree, a name of the style, I forget. But please, okay.
Okay, Mike.
When I build greenhouse, I will add power, fan, and things. Okay, okay.
Yeah, people I know prepare. That's the whole point, GT.
The
Wait, let me wait till Panta get to it, and then
only, okay. All right, go ahead. I refuse.
and that's where I feel it's going, because all these things are happening, and we have to come up. The small man have to come up. The single person have to come up with ways of protecting their food and being able to grow their own food. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, all these things are going on, and now we're going to be more and more dependent on those bigger companies and those people to provide our food. That's just, I can't settle for that.
I
Hey,
just,
Dude, good to see you.
I don't know what's up. Like what GT was saying, I mean, you have a point. I mean, you want,
That's where it's heading.
yeah, it's heading there, but I mean, you
Hmm.
want to have some sort of control of, I mean, why should it be a problem for somebody grow some food? I mean, you see what I'm saying? But I mean, in order for control people, they got to control the food and the
It's
water. So, so
I
that's
I I
where.
don't feel like it's a problem. They're seeing it as a problem. I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like they're making it that way. It's set up that way for it to be more and more difficult for us to be independent and be more dependent, right, on other sources for our food, right? Because you see what's going on, and with the changes that's going on, we have to constantly be making adjustments, in this type of lifestyle that we're living, to be able to provide our own food. So they're creating this thing that, would make it so much more difficult for us to be able to do that for ourselves.
That's where it's leading. That's exactly
Right.
where it's leading. It designed for that. It designed for us, for you not to be able to grow your food. So you will have to depend on someone. And this someone, you understand, you always got to go to somebody. Not to your garden, but to someone. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
it designed, and believe it or not, it's gonna get there. You understand? I think,
And it's getting there fast too.
yeah, I think what happened over the years, everything we accept so much stuff over the years that
Team
no,
would behave.
like it become like whether you want to accept it, it's just here. We're just presenting them. You know what I mean? So now it's gonna become a time when we actually might never to grow food, and they might never tell us not to grow food, just the weather condition.
They're going to make it difficult. Exactly.
Weather condition gonna make it difficult, and it's
Yes.
happening already.
Yes. Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, it's happening.
Geothermal is a game changer.
Hmm? Okay. No, I have to do a lot more research, but I hope to figure out something by next year.
But you see this, GT, this statement here, you have to do your research and figure out something by next year. And within that year, while you're doing your research, so much more is going to be happening. And that's the fast pace that this thing is going downhill for us to be able to get our own food ourselves, to be able to provide and to grow our own food. It's really sickening because I feel like it's a fight against people who want to just simply live and be able to grow their own food and be independent. They don't want that.
No, it's always about come to me.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Come to me.
It's a game. It's a game. It's really a game.
You see, the mouth is missile by the food it eat. So I'm not allowing anyone to control all I eat.
All I eat, exactly.
It's a sad thing to want to control everything a person eat.
It's a threat to me. It's a threat, and I take that personally.
Yeah, it is it's sad because
It's a threat. What's going on?
I don't see, I feel like if someone have the ability to grow their own, that should be like, go ahead. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That should be like, go ahead. That's good. That taking, you know, it, that taking much strain off for you, being a provider
Right.
for everybody.
Right.
But
But it's a money game.
yeah,
It's a money
it's
game.
all about the body.
Yep.
It's all about the money.
But listen, don't let that deter us. And we just gotta do what we gotta do and try our best to make it.
Okay, the motive during the lockdown, they stop us from buy seed control machine. That's why. That's why I'm always saying, save some seed. You harvest some pepper, grab a few, bust open that pepper, and pull out that seed. Squash, bust open that squash, pull out them seeds. I'm telling you. And soon you will be getting food that you cannot use there with no seed. Well, it's already happening. Food without seed. They don't love us. It's profit over. All right. All right. Sorry, it muzzle. Okay, muzzle. Okay, that's all right.
Oh, the malt is a muzzle. Okay.
150 degrees. So in winter, must just need heat bit more in summer. Okay, all right. Great conversation. I have an hour. All right, the everyday life. Good night. Thank you for coming through. We appreciate you. All right. You take care. Have a good night. Have a good. All right.
And some of these seeds, like you were saying, the pumpkin seeds, even the sunflower seeds, some of these seeds we can actually store it up and use it as food.
Mm-hmm. That's
Because
true.
we can consume those too. I
Man,
mean,
the amount of pumpkin seed I have. I save. Listen me. I don't play around. I save seed. Guys, don't play around. Save as much seed as all you can, or you just never know. All right? My pepper are still the same size without no pepper. They giving me the middle finger because. But wait, hold on. Well, right, the kind of heat maybe you get in, maybe that's why. But I know pepper love heat. You know what I'm saying? But the kind of weather you get in, maybe that's what happening. And let me ask you something. I just want to figure out something here. Did you plant them deep and not too deep? I just trying to figure something. With the type of heat you getting, I want to figure out something here. Angela, did you plant them deep? I really trying to figure out something here. Let me know if you let me know. This pepper won't grow high 90s. Okay, I guess the heat is too hot. Drop blossom. Well, I don't you see, I don't deal with that kind of weather, so
right, yeah.
this is what I'm trying to find out from her, how she plant them because I'm trying to, but that's a different temperature. This is 100 and something you're talking about. So I kind of believe it kind of stunted the pepper them.
My peppers are short, but they're producing, and it's ridiculous because I've never seen pepper trees so short. And I did do a video on it. I didn't release the video yet. I have to edit it, but I mean, if you guys come up upon that video, you'll see how short those trees are. And I just feel like I'm violating these pepper plants because they're so short, growing all these peppers on it. It's just, I feel like it's plant abuse.
Mm-mm.
Oh, wow.
Well, I plant 3 times between April and June. Then they grow about 4 inches in that. Oh,
And
really?
wow. So the heat must have stunted them.
Maybe it's the heat. Maybe it's the heat. Maybe it's the heat. I know they love heat. I just don't know that type of heat. Original pepper grow along cool river bank. They like wet and dry top. Originally, pepper grew along cool river bank. What kind of pepper that, Mike? They like wet and dry top. What kind of pepper you talking about, Mike? The gangster Lonnie.
They cancelling and giving me the middle finger. No.
I hope they give you some pepper before the season over. Because sometimes you'll be surprised, sometimes some sharp pepper produce
Or
some
just a lot, yeah.
pepper. So just hope for that.
I mean, if it gets cooler and they're still, alive, then hopefully they'll come in later on in the season. If it's not in the one teens,
Okay, let me see. Do you have shade cloth? Okay, all right. So try and in November. Well, if you're dealing with cold weather, November might be a good time if you deal with cold weather, if you gotta go to the cold. But just leave them, water them, and maybe who knows, maybe they
that's
might produce something for you. That's my belief. You never know, you just never know. But don't give up at all.
right.
White fly this. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen any white flies in my peppers, so fingers crossed. I don't want anything additional to deal with.
And them bugs and my banana pepper are doing great. Okay,
Mine too, D mode.
that's
Mine too.
shade cloth can't help me from the heat. Okay.
Yeah, because that humidity, I was thinking too. I mean,
Okay. Most tropical pepper from South America, most American ones, it's where you find them in nature. Okay, all right. Okay.
so you're saying those are just wild growing peppers, Mike?
Yeah, basically, guys,
My understanding, yeah. I
okay.
don't know if I've ever seen wild growing peppers ever.
That why I asked him what kind
That's
of
pretty
pepper,
cool.
because I
If
never,
that's a thing, that's pretty cool.
yeah. That why I asked him what type of pepper, because I never see it. I would like to get a few of them. That's some serious, man. Listen, me. I water the garden, they still call me. Oh man, those pepper will grow wild once cool in bit. Okay.
I think so. Once it gets cooler.
I hope she gets some different weather, man. That's
Yeah, don't pull them out. Just,
I
leave
wouldn't
them
take
in
them
there.
out. I will
Yeah.
leave them. My bell pepper are slow growing and stun. I don't know. My bell pepper them is jumping. I mean,
My Mine, I harvested a couple today, but the plant itself is stunted. I will call it stunted. It grew some more, but usually it's taller.
shed cloth
So
help. It's okay. My chicken run and cool down. That's die. Okay. Hear me from top. All right.
urban, you're not getting 112 degrees. You can use the shade cloth. The whole backyard. Wow.
For the New Mexico State University, they travel worldwide. Team oil pepper. Okay. I never see those pepper, Mike.
Yeah,
I never seen it. I never seen it.
now I'm curious. I've never ever seen wild peppers.
Yeah, I can't remember seeing no pepper
Wow.
just like that. Okay. Well, that's the thing. You live, you learn.
Right.
Always learn something new, But all my pepper, Let me see what type of pepper I plant. One, two, three, four, five different type of pepper, and they all doing good. The banana, I know harvest some banana pepper. They recently, listen me, my pepper them doing wonderful. And don't forget, guys, my super juice is coming out pretty soon.
I meant to ask you, that's a question I had to ask you. I should have emailed you, but
Okay.
I was going to ask you, when is that super juice coming out?
Well, my plan was to bring it out like November,
Okay.
get it
Okay, so
ready
I'll wait.
for the next year. That's
And
what I'm
is it a first come first served basis? You put your order
planning.
in. Okay.
Definitely, because this is magical, and believe it or not, I already got some people reach out to me already. Yeah, people reach out to me already because
Well,
I think
I'm
right.
reaching out to you now. So
Yeah,
add me to the list.
yeah. You know what? I did a video. You see the video with the pepper when I was talking about the pepper and I harvest the red ripe one.
Yes.
Somebody emailed me from that video
Mm.
and asked me about what juice, what juice you talking about. So I
Good.
said, I have an organic juice coming out in November. So that one, the person who tell me I would like to get some my hand on some of that. So yes, people reaching out to me. You know what I'm saying? This thing ain't no joke. This
I
thing ain't
said,
no joke. I know you, I know. This thing, listen to me, this thing ain't no joke, guys. This
that
thing is no
pepper, I
joke.
watched that video and I can like hear the weight of that pepper, how
Yes,
it's hitting your hand. And I was like, that's a solid pepper.
it is. It is a solid
That's a
pepper.
solid pepper.
And the good thing about it, everything about it is organic. Not everything about it is organic. So you ain't got to worry about it destroying the bees and butterfly. It actually blends in with the environment. It just have a
Nice.
strong smell, which I'm not even trying to dilute the scent, because by me trying to dilute the scent, gonna defeat the purpose of the product. You see what I'm saying? So it do have a strong scent, but it worth it. Just put on a gloves that it didn't get to on your finger, and you do that. And I
Because
will also
that
include
sending sound like it coming off.
it will, but I just don't want to dilute it, because diluting it, diluting it might add something to make it smell a little better. But at the same time, it defeating the real purpose of what this thing for. I try it on peppers, squash. I try it on okra. I try
And
it on
you already grow decent sized peppers. So
exactly.
yeah.
And now this pepper is on another level with the
Wow.
size. You see, I always grow big pepper, always. But this pepper is humongous. You know what I'm saying? And the weight. And the weight of the pepper is on another level. So I can't wait that when people put their hand on it to get to hear their remarks, like you know what I mean.
What the experience with
Yes,
using it is like, and
yes, yes. Because I ain't come in here and tell you about anything that's not working. That's not. If I say it, it's because I already use it.
okay.
And I did my own research. I put time and effort into this product. Time and effort. So yes, it will be available for November. All right.
Oh, maybe I can get some to use on my herb garden challenge for next year. Let's see about that.
All right, then. Thank you for mentioning that. All right, guys, don't forget the Hope Garden Challenge is coming up next year again. We ain't stopping. Next year again, and it's gonna start on March the 4th. Not February this time. We're going from March until June. So instead of we struggle from February, we bring 40 to
March 1st.
March 1st to July to June the 30th. And then the giveaway on the no the 25th. And on the giveaway on the 30th again. Okay, so don't forget, guys, get yourself ready, and we're gonna be talking about it until that day come the 4th of March. That's gonna be the day. All right, so don't forget, guys. Please don't. Yes. Call it planter juice.
Compound the super juice. That's
Yes,
what you call it, the
yes,
super
yes,
juice.
the super juice. And
Super
guys,
juice.
listen me. You guys gonna love it, I'm telling you. As a person who go in my garden and measure and do all kind of stuff, and the result, because I tried on different plants. Like for instance, I tried on I have 7 peppers in one area, and I only tried on two. And the 2 pepper that I tried on produced pepper way before the other 5. Have huge pepper, and the other 5 just pushing out blossom. So it help boost your plant to even produce faster. And it's crazy, but it naturally have natural thing. You see, like how you go to the store and buy fertilizer to boost your plant, it actually have natural thing out there
That can give you the
that you
same
can do
results. Yeah.
the same thing with. Okay? Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Cool beans.
yeah. So don't forget, November. It will be out in November. Yes, Mike, that pepper was talking about there. That you said grow wild. I swear I never heard about it, I never see it. But now you talk about it, I'm gonna look into it more now. Because it sounds interesting. Growing wild, it sounds
Is it
interesting.
is it a hot pepper? Is it a sweet pepper? Does it have a variety name or that's that's interesting. It sparks my curiosity. That's pretty cool if you can actually have peppers growing in the wild like that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think it's a good.
What I would also like to see is, yeah, I could want what I want, but if it's impossible, like peppers being over. See how tomato seeds would drop and they would pop up in the spring. I would love to see that with pepper, cause it's
Well,
on.
no. That I've seen that with my eyes. I have pepper right now that boss up in my, and this is the 4th year too. And what is so crazy is how the weather was so cold last year. So it's kind of surprising to me that these peppers still right now these pepper haven't blossom flowers
Right.
right now.
Oh wow.
Yes, pepper actually germinate over through the winter. But it's my first time seeing it though. First time.
I don't mean to laugh, Angela.
Wait, where Angela? So let me see. Planter, I was so embarrassed to show my homes by the time back. If it was too hot for mine. Oh wow. You
They
know,
melted.
I'm sorry to hear that, Angela. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Man, you gotta with these kind of temperature you dealing with. I'm sorry to hear that, but you know what? You try. You try. And you still doing your thing. So don't give up at all. And I still expect to see you for next year again. Figure out something. Figure out how you're gonna do it this time. Maybe put it in an area that you don't need that. I mean the heat. Don't give up. That's what I will say. Don't give
Which
up.
will be a lot of containers because you'd have to move it around.
But you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yep.
Most all peppers start wild, like apple, human, tame them. Oh, human tame them, you say? Okay. Okay, I hear that. Okay. I mean, maybe I mean you could have a point. They might. You could have a point because they start somewhere.
True.
They start somewhere and come from somewhere. So you have a point. You have a point. You have a point. They might. Same for potatoes. Right. You have a point. You have a point, Mike. You really have a point. You definitely have a point there. Yes, Angela, don't give up at all. Don't give up. But I understand the type of weather you're getting over there. I didn't know that
Yeah.
deal with
Yeah.
weather like that, and I'm over here complaining in my 90s.
How are you supposed to breathe in that air, in that hot air? I'm not even talking about, never mind the garden. How are you supposed to be outdoors breathing in
Yeah,
that weather?
wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we all got well, almost everybody up in here growing something, and that's a blessing, man. That we all try to grow something, you know. And what I will say, guys, don't give up. There will always be obstacle. Don't give up. And Angela, that type of heat, I don't know what to tell you, but I believe you pepper them. Maybe when the weather start changing for this year, I believe your pepper might produce some peppers. I'm hoping that that take place. Okay, that's be like breathing soap. Oh man, wow. Good night, y'all. Thanks for the. All right, live from Scott. Take care. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you coming
Have a
through.
wonderful night at Life Zone from Scratch.
I'll die. I don't know, man. Them
Yeah,
heat.
that's some heat to breathe, to inhale. Like, yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
And you know what? What about? Let me ask you. What about I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to. I have some tomatoes right now. Some not the big one. I have some, you know, like them not the cherry. The little bigger than cherry. Not the small little cherry one. The little bigger than cherry, and they're not as big as the big ones. Them
Okay. Yeah, I have those too.
and they run as well. And what I notice going on with them right now, they're running like pumpkin vines. You know, because my thing was to stake them up, right? But you
Right.
know, get busy and just leave them. And them thing is like running like pumpkin vines right now.
Yeah, they're pretty much tomato vines. That's what they do.
Yeah, they actually running like vines right now. So I'm thinking that next year, but you know what? What has happened in my garden, tomatoes just bust up all over, everywhere. Then sometime I gotta try to figure out which one is it. You see what I'm saying? Then so now I catch myself planting different kind of same place because I'm not sure exactly at the time transplanting
Right.
which one is it. So that kind of thing in me right now because now these tomato running like vines, and then you have them that goes up in the air. So
Right.
it's, you know, so I gotta try figure that out that next year I ain't go through the problem. So with them that busting up in my garden, I might have to just take them out.
I'm pulling all of them out next year.
Because I got to be in control. I got to know what is what.
I'm pulling all of them out. They come up next year, I'm pulling all of them out.
Yeah, I'm doing that because I need to know what kind of tomato is growing here. Because then the ones that running overpowering the other one, and I'm watching and I'm saying, nah, next year I'm not doing this.
Right.
125 degrees is crazy. Hell yeah.
100. Who is 125? That's you're not supposed to breathe in that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to feel that. Romas are great bush tomatoes. Oh yes. Romas and well, that's also a type of Roma anyway. So
Okay.
the San Marzano, yes.
My corn,
That one and the Romas, yeah. Which other one?
my corn was doing great, but tassel on top, fried. So, oh my, yo, I
Fried tomatoes.
feel like you just gotta go out with your spoon and your fork, man.
Oh man. But I like that you're not giving up, Angela.
Right, right.
Really.
Love the
As
spoon.
a new gardener, you're experiencing these things and you're going to make adjustments going forward, especially with the weather that you're experiencing.
You
You
know,
know that it's possible that that time would come, and you can just make adjustment going forward. At least think about what you're going to do if that happens again.
you,
So,
you know what? People like Angela is who does become great gardeners. You see, starting out. You see, starting out a garden with struggles and everything just going
oh
wrong and you're
Lord.
not giving up. These are the people who just come out real gardeners. You understand?
Yeah.
Because now they could deal with the heat, then they move on to you understand. So they pass through all the weathers. So Angela, don't give up, sis. Don't give up at all.
Oh, fried corn. I thought it was tomatoes. The tomatoes melted and the corn's fried.
On top fried, I replanted more. Okay. Roma are great tomato. Yes, they are. Angela will only have it easy after this
Oh,
crazy.
yes.
But I'm just saying, however, I mean, the weather. I think the weather is kind of funny this year. I don't know, guys. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know for everybody because, but I'm
It's
just seeing some different things this year with the weather itself. And I'm just hoping that next year we could have a growing season.
well, I mentioned one time on your, I think it was on your platform, that we should start thinking of if we haven't, we should have already thought about growing indoors and try to see, do your own experiment and see, sow some seeds indoors, keep them indoors, um, kind of provide an environment where they would try to make them grow and actually produce if you can, even if you have to hand pollinate or learn to hand pollinate. And if you have the capacity to grow in that way, or at least to try it out, try it and see how it'll work for you, because it seems like this is where it's heading.
Growing indoors. Yeah, I agree. I
So,
discover something cool. Okay, Mike, that's good. That's good. Discover something that's wonderful, man.
what's that, Mike?
And that's my
It's about a pepper, I can guess. A hot pepper. I might be wrong. But yeah, I mean,
yes, growing indoors mightn't be, start thinking about doing it is a good idea. Look at plants that could grow indoors. I planted cowpeas with my corn and craziest while could knock my corn down.
yeah,
The peas. Oh,
Potato.
okay, okay. Well, that's a good way to make peas. Peas with corn and even okra too as well. With peas, work beautiful.
Nice.
Because the peas run up into the corn. That's how we used to plant corn too. With
See,
peas.
you learned something new, Mike.
Yes,
There you go. You learn something every day or every year, at least every year in the garden.
that's
You
what
learn something new. And sometimes you're like, what the heck? How did I miss this all these years? Yep.
that's what I always say. I learn every day in the garden. I'm
Right.
every day. I learn something new, and you might say, "How?" Yes, I learn something every day. I put my foot in the garden.
Right.
And you got to try your own little thing too. You see, Mike try something and it works.
Right.
But that's a good idea, Mike. That's how we used to plant corn with
And
beans.
piece together. Yep. Oh
Like
yeah.
you run up in the, you run up and run
Corn
up.
and peas together. Yep.
And as you say, it was a support as well, so that's good.
Hmm.
Okay. Summer crop in December, I guess. Okay.
Yep.
You gotta do what you gotta do,
You
sis.
gotta try. You gotta try something.
You gotta do what you
You
gotta
gotta
do.
try some because if in December it's still in the 100s or 90s, that's still up there.
Yeah.
If that's what you were saying earlier, it's still some heat.
Like for instance, I don't know, maybe she need to start try her brassica them in the winter, in the raw winter.
Right.
Because they brassica stand up in the raw winter. They mightn't grow as fast, but by the time the
Yep.
spring come, they're ready to produce. So maybe she need to start doing her crop them earlier, like a brassica in the heart of the winter.
Right.
That she could, instead of trying to do them down in March, April, because this is when the sun start penetrating. And yeah, you see what I'm saying? So maybe you should start some crop in the winter itself, Angela, especially brassica.
Lettuce is not a root crop.
Who even 80s is fine for summer crop. Yep. Let me see. Wait, who said where? I see. Let me see. My lettuce sprouted, then went back on the Oh
It
man.
went underground.
Well, and the next thing again, lettuce seeing like too much heat. Lettuce rather a little, cooler temperature than the real heat. Well, from my experience, like my zucchini, yellow squash, ascon squash, butternut squash, and pumpkin looking good. All right, the more that you're doing your thing, man, that's good. That's good, man. Everybody actually doing their thing. That's good.
That's
That's
awesome.
interesting. That's interesting. I like that. I like that. I like that, guys. Don't give up. Give up is not an option. Failure is not an option.
Right.
All about planting that you can actually able to harvest and get food for your family. What is better than that? You plant it, you grow it, you know what's around it, you know what you put around it. What is better than that? Okay. Yes, guys. So garden season is here. So let me ask you guys. We hitting for the the fall now, fall garden is approaching. What you guys doing for the fall garden season? What you guys doing? Who planting more? Who relaxing for the fall? Who walking on their soil? What you guys doing for the fall? You guys grow. What you guys planning on growing for the fall?
I'm actually doing I'm just gonna speak until somebody types in the chat. I'm actually doing brassicas, like I said, and some herbs. That's pretty much what it is. Just leafy greens. I did drop some more uh bush bush variety of squash, and it's a summer squash, but you know.
Okay, that's cool.
What herb is that you have there?
You see my shish right now harvest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is one the leaf right here.
I'm so excited about mine. It's getting tall. And today I looked at it on the top and it looked like I'm seeing like it's gonna go to seed. So I'm waiting to put that in a organza bag because I don't want it all over my garden. But
Man,
I'm excited about it though. The
the,
leaves are so big.
yeah, and the scent of it is
Yeah. Yep.
it's a good plant if you do your research and sisho guys. It's a good plant to help. Well, do your own research, okay? But it's a good plan to help get information out your body. All right, so very interested, very invasive. I make a harvest. I pull up about 40 trees of shisho.
Only 40.
Yes, so far. Still have more. I could
Listen,
never pull off their leaf. I had was to rip them out the ground.
I
Because
have seen your garden tour, and I can comfortably say that you have shisho fields.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I pull out over about 40 trees
Wow.
just to get rid of them out the ground because they grow like trees, you know.
Yes.
They actually grow like trees. So I
Mhm.
had also get rid of them. But guess what? I have so much mm, to make tea with, man. I'm telling you, I'll be drinking tea this winter, like, and it ain't causing me a dime. Just
Right.
the hard work I put in.
That's awesome.
And okay. Yes, guys. So who else going shisho up inside here? Is anybody going shisho or shishi up inside here?
I think Urban is growing it. She said that in your last live, and I think G Mama grows. She's probably not in here anymore. I'm not certain, but yeah, they I think they're both growing shisho.
So that's basically
And I'm growing it for the first time because I heard you spoke about it earlier this year, and I got a couple package. I got the purple one and the green one, but the purple one for me did not germinate. But I'm gonna drop some more seeds in that one and see how it goes.
so. Let me ask you: did you ever eat the leaf, taste the leaf?
No,
Well, try it. Pick one, wash it off, however you want to do it, and taste it
so I could eat it like in a salad.
in a salad.
Okay, then
Wonderful.
I can dry the leaves for tea.
You could dry the leaf for tea, and you could eat it in a salad. So you could just clip the leaf off, get some tomatoes, okra mix up together, and just
Hmm.
eat a salad, raw salad, just like that.
Problems.
Beautiful plan. Yeah. Listen me, let's guys eating out your garden make you feel strong like a lion. I'm telling you. You don't get sick and you just feel strong. Just feel good. I mean, well for me. I don't know
Yeah,
for
because I mean that's maintaining your health, and it's not like you're curing or fixing anything. You're just maintaining, and I think that's a point of trying to eat as healthy as you can.
yeah, that's basic. You see the thing is you see what does happen with what does happen most of the time. We just try to fix problem instead of prevent problem. When the problem occur, is nothing we could do. You see, we try to get help to fix it, but we got to try to prevent it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like for instance, you might have information in your body. All you what you need for do, you get some herbs that can, and everybody should take something at times to try to get information out their body, mucus information out of their body. This should be something you doing. Nobody shouldn't have to tell you that. You see? So by doing this, it help prevent, not to cure, prevent a lot of things that happen to our study. Fall garden with carrot and green leaf vegetables. All right, that's cool, Demote. That's cool.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And the carrots could handle the frost and the freeze.
That's cool. You know what? I'm even what I'm gonna do this year to listen to me. I have Edo to harvest, right? And listen, to me, it's so much Edo I have. And I'm just trying to figure out maybe I might even harvest all of them. But what I'm gonna do, I'm just like how you could do the carrots. You see how you do the carrots? You leave the carrots in the ground, and then you could go back and harvest within the you see instead of harvest everything, you leave some in the ground and then you go back and harvest. I'm trying that this year. I'm trying that this year.
I'm only willing to spare one Edo to do that with. I'm only willing to try it with one.
Okay, okay.
Everything else, I'm gonna harvest it. I may leave one in the ground, and I may do another one where I cut the top off
Mhm.
and put it back in the ground. So I'm gonna do two different things. But the other ones, I'm taking them completely out,
Okay.
and in the spring, I'll put them back out in the ground.
What I've noticed, well, your temperature is different, so I don't want to put it two of them together. But what I noticed, right, the heads them I put back in that I replant in the winter, in the fall, they just germinate, done put boss up way before the others them that I plant like early spring. You see what I'm saying? Before spring, they already start pushing their head up already. You mute.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
That's the one you left in the ground, you're saying?
They just boss up way faster
Oh,
than
wow.
the others that I put. You know, sometimes, let me tell you, sometimes them that you put have eyes already. They all like
Right,
they already have eyes.
right.
Where does happen like the coldness does mess with that. So it's like that eye does like just fall back to sleep.
That's exactly what happened to me this year because mine was growing great inside.
Right.
And I was so happy that I got ahead of the game and I brought them out. And I don't know if to call it burn. If it burnt it off, it turned brown, it dried off. And but I still put them in the ground and I'm like, what's going on with this thing? Is it gonna die? And sure enough, they shot out new sprouts and they're growing really good now.
Right. But you see the
So
other one. You see the other one that planned back in October.
in the fall,
That
yeah.
one does bust up in the cold weather.
Mm,
See what I'm saying? With
right.
others does the one them that I planned that have under eye. They fall right back to sleep while
And
they
start over. Yeah.
right while they're growing. You see what I'm saying? So I'm looking at baby, I just plant in November.
Right.
But I'm gonna be looking at the two harvests this year.
Okay.
See the size and how much I receive from the one from last year and this year. So
Right.
depends on what I see. That's the pattern I'm gonna be using.
Nice.
Because I'm looking for the most out of it, you know?
Yes. And so am I with my short period. My period of growing is too short. Like
I
it's
know,
too short for my liking. But that's not gonna stop me from growing.
not at all. Not at all. Yes. Well, guys, tonight was a wonderful night. As always, I thank each and every one of you for coming out. Fifi, thank you for coming up.
Sorry for invading your platform for the entire night. I just came up here to explain one thing and
All
here I
right.
am
No,
still.
that's all right. That's okay. At least we was up here having a good time,
Great
sharing,
conversation, yes.
having a good conversation. I don't mind that. Once it's something positive, I can deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Where we all could look, I learned something from Mike tonight, right?
Right,
But while Pepper, this is what it's about. We learning from each other.
right.
All right? All right,
Yes,
good
so
night.
I'm going to look into that too because I'm curious about it. It's fascinating. Like I want to know more about that because
But
I never heard of it.
but you know what? He right. Because pepper had was to be growing somewhere before man able to have
Domesticated it. Absolutely.
he right. He have a strong point
Absolutely. All of these things.
there. Exactly.
When you look at it, you see the original one, and you hear about the original one, and that one had so many like bananas. Bananas had seeds in it, and
Yeah,
they say it's not edible. That's what they're saying. It's not edible. It's not that it's not edible. It's just that we've been spoiled so much that we don't want seeds in certain things anymore. We're not used to seeds in bananas. But if that's what's there to eat, the native banana, I will be eating bananas.
oh yes. Yes. Are you no, I'm not seeing seed in banana.
Right.
Seed used to be in banana. I there was some always seed.
Growing up, all those little short we used to
Yeah.
call them. That's what we call fig in my island. Banana, we refer to it as fig because we don't have figs growing there, but we will call banana fig. And we used to say fig. They had seeds in them.
Yes, they do. You know, they do have seed in them. So this is how it is. And no banana producing without.
Without seeds. Yep,
I'm telling you, man. This
that's what's
was
going on.
this. Yes, yes, yes. So yes, guys. As always, man. I thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for coming out. Truly appreciate each and every one of you for coming out and being here for all this time with us. Thank you guys for sharing all the information about your garden. It's a pleasure to be with you guys and able to have a conversation with you guys. I appreciate you guys for real. Thank you guys so much. But
Well,
yes, we was here for 3 hours. So
thank you for having me up. I'm gonna say good night to everyone in the chat for your contribution. Thank you, Planta, for having me up. And I am gonna step down in the chat until the end.
all right,
Thank
all right.
you.
Thank you. I appreciate you for coming up. Thank you so much. Yes, guys, as always, we try to have conversation that can motivate and help however we can encourage people, however we can lift people's spirit, however we can. So I'm just thanking you guys for coming out and being here with us tonight, able to have a conversation, able to talk, able to, thank you, Angela, for sharing your garden with us, man. I know the weather is really beating you over there, but you know what? Your spirit, your drive is amazing. Keep going. Lala, Texas, I know you have the heat as well, but you don't giving up, and that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, the mood, for coming through. Appreciate you coming through. Thank you, Urban Gardening. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, GT Jr. Thank you, Nikki. I mean, thanks everybody. If I forget anyone, sorry guys, but I truly thank you. Good Eats Homestead. I truly appreciate each and every one of you for coming through. You guys are amazing. You guys made me laugh tonight. You guys, I had fun tonight with you guys. Don't forget, guys, every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you guys next week that we could have another conversation about gardening. Thank you guys so much. As all, and live from scratch. Yes, thank you, Fifi. Live from scratch. Thank you as well for coming through. But anyhow, guys, you guys have a blessed and wonderful night. Thank you, Fifi. Thank you, Boy Blue, for coming through. Yes, Boy Blue, thank you, man, for coming through. I appreciate each and every one. You guys have a blessed and wonderful night. Peace, love, and blessing. All right, brother. All right, Boy Blue. You guys have a good night. All right. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.